That's fine right there, Mr. Brewster. Jethro! You can start bringing them things out now.
Oh, boy, I can't wait to get back to California. I ain't been warm clean through since we got here.
Jethro, take it easy. We've been sleeping on a hard floor. It'd be awful nice to get in the warm bed for a change.
I'll take it, Jethro.
Jethro, I said take it easy. Granny ready?
Yeah, she's just putting on her gaiters. I'll bring her right out.
Well, I hope you'll come visit us in California. We'll be mighty glad to see you, especially Pearl. Her and Jethrine's coming to stay with us.
Big overgrowth. Let me get my shoe on, you big overgrowth moose.
You can put it on in the car, Granny. We's in a hurry.
We can't leave until somebody finds Elly May.
Where is she?
She took to the woods early this morning with those 2 timber wolves that she's let sleep under her bed.
Yeah, I'll find her. By dog, it's a good thing we're leaving. One more night and she'd be baying at the moon. Elly May,
Over here, Paul.
you got them wolves with you?
Oh, they won't pester you none. That no-biting promise goes for my paw, too.
Hello there, Maggie. Howdy, honey. Mr. Brewster's waiting, and we got to pick up Pearl and Jethro and drive clean to the airport.
St. Pearl and Mr. Brewster are getting married?
Well, no, not yet. Maybe never. But Pearl's satisfied. Everybody in town seen him propose to her. Now she can leave town with her chin up and her head thrown back, proud and happy.
I'll bet you Cousin Jethrine ain't happy. She says she ain't going to California and leave her sweetie Jezbo to Pew. She's powerful in love with that little feller.
Yeah, I reckon Jethro will do pretty much what her ma tells her to. Pearl's a mighty strong-willed woman.
Jethrine's pretty near time for them to pick us up. Now, no more sulking. You're coming to California. I don't want to hear no more argument about it.
Okay, Ma, I'm coming.
What in the world have you got there?
The trunk, Ma.
Well, I can see that, but what you got in it?
Well, I got some clothes and some shoes and some food and some water. I forgot the water.
Water, why? Jethro to Pew! Oh.
Miss Bodine, that daughter of yours is a mighty strong-willed girl.
Did she put you in later?
I think so. I told her I couldn't go to California with her. And that's the last thing I remember.
Oh, don't let him get away. Jethro, you put him down. This minute. What's the matter with you? Why, that poor boy could suffocate in that trunk without no air. Jethro, am I going to have to take a switch to you?
Jethrine, honey, like I told you, I can't just pick up and go. I got a big business going here.
Well, couldn't you be a traveling salesman in California?
Darling, it's taken me years to build up this territory. And this is my big selling season. Well, I can knock down $100 in the next 2 or 3 months. And a fella don't walk away from a gold mine like that.
Talking sense, Jethro.
But Uncle Jed's a millionaire, and Cousin Ellie says they got plenty of room in that mansion. He could stay there with us.
Jethro, I got my pride. Well, I'd rather die than take charity from my sweetheart's kinfolk.
Oh, well, sure, you can write to one another.
Of course. And I'll be here when you get back.
Oh, there they are. Now, Jethro, you get ready to leave. Oh, Mr. Brewster, I thought it was my boy Jethro. Cousin Jed come to pick up the suitcase.
Well, no, I asked them to let me come for them. This may be my last chance to see you alone for a moment.
Alone? You, me, us? Why would you?
Well, first, I want to thank you for publicly breaking our engagement after I lost my head, as I did last night.
Oh, shucks. I didn't mean it when I said yes. It was just nerves and excitement of the moment.
Well, you were very sweet about it.
Yeah, well, but now that my head is clear and I'm thinking straight, well, I realized I couldn't get married right now.
some man would lose a wonderful wife.
My goodness, I got family obligations, you know. Why, Cousin Jed's been after me 3 or 4 months to come to Beverly Hills and get that wild daughter of his proper dressed and acting like a lady.
I'm going to miss you, Mrs. Bodine.
Yes, well, he's in desperate need of me. I don't know what come over me last evening, but now that I had a good night's sleep in the morning, coffee, got my wits together, well, I could just laugh at myself for even considering marriage.
Mrs. Bodine, I just want to say that I think you're a splendid woman, and I'm sure our paths will cross again. And, well, I'd consider it a great honor if you'd allow me to kiss you goodbye.
Kiss me? Well, I hardly think there'd be anything wrong with that.
It's real, Miss Brewster? Is that a new hat, ain't Pearl?
Oh, Elly May, look, Jeffrey's in there saying goodbye to his sweetie, Jasbo Depew. So why don't you go in and say goodbye to him, too?
Huh? All right. I ain't never met him.
Jethro, you're just gonna have to get it through your head. I cannot go to California, and that's that.
Howdy.
Well, hi, Cousin Ellie. This here's my sweetie, Jasbo Depew.
Howdy, Jasbo.
And a great big howdy to you. This girl is the cousin you've been telling me about?
Yeah, Jasbo. She's the one we'll be staying with in California.
Well, poke me another air hole, baby, and let's go.
Oh, good morning, Chief.
Morning. Well, I just had a call from Brewster in Tulsa. The Clampetts are on their way home.
Jethro? Oh, I mean the Clampetts.
Yes, and they're bringing a cousin and her daughter along. That'll be 6 of them. I think I'd better order an extra limousine.
Chief, if I may suggest, the personal touch is very important to these people, and they are the bank's largest depositors. I would be happy to volunteer my car, and myself, I can take at least half the load. Jethro. And the luggage. See, Chief, I have bucket seats, and Jethro is quite a bucketful. How's about 3 apiece, Chief?
Fine. We'll be ready to leave the airport about noon.
Entendu, mon capitaine.
Time to leave for the airport, Miss Hathaway.
Right. Don't be alarmed, Chief. This is just for the Clampetts. I have no intention of disrupting office discipline with my seductive appearance.
What a remarkable change.
3 hours in the beauty salon.
Tell me, are you busy tonight? Because if you're not, I'd like you to work and make up those 3 hours.
They could have missed the plane.
Oh, impossible. Brewster phoned me after he put them on board.
Oh, miss, are there any more passengers aboard?
Yes, there are 6. Well, they appear to be hillbillies.
Was there anything wrong with them?
Oh, no. You see, we served lunch before we arrived, and they refused to leave the plane until they helped do the dishes. And we served 120 lunches. Well, here they come.
Flight 201 for Chicago and New York is now loading at the East Concourse.
Oh. Thank you for sharing your food with us. And thank you for doing the dishes. You sure you don't want us to wash the windows? It won't take long if we all pitch in. Thank you.
Drysdale, howdy.
Welcome home, Mr. Clampett.
This here is my cousin, Pearl Bodie.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. Oh, excuse my wet hand.
Oh, it's quite all right. Well, how did you enjoy your plane ride?
I don't believe it. I plain don't believe it. It's a miracle.
Oh, well, it ain't nothing. You ain't seen nothing, Pearl. Wait till we ride on that escalator.
Yes. Well, my car's out in front, Mr. Clampett. Come on.
Mon amour.
That ain't my name. Who are you? I am a wild and mysterious gypsy. I have come to take you away to my gypsy camp. You got some food there? Well, I can't stay long, but I am kind of hungry. Helping wash all them dishes give me quite an appetite.
Jet, them stairs is moving. We're having a California earthquake.
Pearl, them stairs are supposed to move like that.
What for?
I don't know, but that's what they call an escalator. Only thing is, last time we was here, they was moving the other way. Well, come on.
Well, we ain't gonna get on them crazy stairs.
Oh, come on, Pearl. Once you're on there, you like it.
Welcome home, Elly May.
Howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
Welcome home, Granny.
Thank you.
Well, where's Jethro?
Last I saw of her, she was still eating.
Well, now, that wasn't bad, was it?
No, it was fun. Let's go up and ride down again.
Oh, no, Pearl. It's fun, all right, but it just ain't worth fighting your way back upstream.
Jason, this place is haunted. A ghost just went through that door.
That ain't no ghost, Pearl. That's what they call, electric eye. They got them all over out here.
Well, you go first. I ain't taking no chances on crowding a spook.
Come on, Benny. I can get on that dog, Benny.
I'll go with Martin and take the luggage around to the service entrance.
I can't believe it. I've seen pictures, but I just can't believe it. It ain't real.
It's real, Ma.
Jeffrey, don't you knock no holes in your Uncle Jed's mansion.
Ah, she can't hurt it, Pearl.
Wait till you see inside, Pearl. It's the biggest bunch of indoors you ever did see.
It's a palace. There just ain't no other word for it. It's a dad-blame palace.
How do you get it started, Uncle Jed?
Get what started?
These here stairs. Ain't they like the ones at the airport?
No, you gotta climb those yourself.
Come on, Jeffrey. I'll show you outside. Granny, how do you ever wash that thing?
Ain't washed it yet, Pearl.
Oh, well, don't you worry. I'll do it.
Pearl, now this here is what they call the drawing room.
Drawing?
Wait till you see this piano. The whole thing is hand-painted. Yeah, Pearl. Ain't that just about the prettiest piano you ever did see? It's got pictures on it.
Look at the dust. Granny, did you run up them curtains?
No, they was here when we came.
Well, as soon as we get settled, I'll run up some new ones. Them windows ain't been washed in weeks.
Well, Pearl, you know, it's a mighty big house. It takes a miracle woman to get it all done.
Looks like I've come just in time, huh? Where's the kitchen, Jack?
I'll show you.
32 rooms in this house, and something tells me it ain't gonna be big enough. What do you think?
Well, I think I should have brought my coal oil stove.
For your information, Miss Pearl, we got gas.
Well, I don't wonder. Nothing but uncooked food. Your pump is stuck tight. It ain't been used so long, Pearl. You know, Granny, we got a lot of work to do to get this kitchen in shape.
Granny, did you tell Pearl this is the kitchen?
I ain't been able to tell Pearl nothing. She won't quit flapping her trap long enough.
Pearl, come on. This here is the kitchen. That there is what they call a pantry.
My stars and God. But a person could feed an army in here.
Well, the way those two young'uns of yours eat, that's just what you'll have to do.
Pearl, look at this stove here. All you have to do to get fire is turn one of them little things right here without lighting no matches nor nothing. Now, look at here. This here lights this in here. This one, like this one. And this one like this one here. And this one like this one. What do you think of that, Pearl?
I declare, I'm just speechless. That'll be the day.
Look at this ice box here. Just take a look. You ever seen anything like that before? Look at that.
Well, I don't like to mention it yet, but somebody left the light a-burning in there. I reckon some people just don't care how they waste other people's money.
The light comes on when you open the door.
You don't say. He pert near didn't with you pounding your gums.
Hey, Pearl, Jeffrey wants to know where's the suitcases, especially the big one with the sandwiches in it.
But Jethro said he'd bring in the suitcases.
Jethro.
What happened to my boy? Where's Jethro?
Well, the last time I seen him, a dark-haired gypsy woman was taking him away.
A gypsy's got him. My baby's been carried off by the gypsy.
Don't worry, Pearl. One meal and they'll carry him right back.
He might have a little bit mixed up. Besides, Jethro is big enough to take care of himself.
Yeah, Mama's in here. Come on in.
My baby, where you been?
With the gypsy woman? We stopped to get something to eat.
I told you one meal and they'd bring him back.
You gypsy kidnapper. I'm gonna snatch you both.
Out of the way.
What you doing being a gypsy?
Just a little harmless fun, Mr. Clampett. When Jethro failed to recognize me, I couldn't resist continuing the masquerade.
Ma, this here's Miss Hathaway, Mr. Drysdale's secretary.
I'm happy to know you, Mrs. Bogey. I have brought your son back safe and sound.
Well, thank you.
Is your hair back?
How about staying for supper, Miss Hathaway?
Oh, I wouldn't want to be any trouble.
Well, I figured with company at the table, there wouldn't be so much trouble.
Wait till you taste Granny's sweet potato pie.
Ain't nobody can make sweet potato pie like my ma.
Now, they is both very fine, extra good cooks, but Pearl not knowing her way around the kitchen, I reckon...
Oh, well, don't you worry none about that, Jed. I'll have this kitchen put in order in no time.
It ain't out of order. Elly, you get rid of the ants. I'll start the cooking.
What aunt?
Start with your Aunt Pearl.
Well, I like that.
I'll bet you won't like what I'm going to say next.
Girls, I got an idea. Now, Pearl, you know there ain't nothing more soothing and appetizing than a mess of piano playing and sweet singing before supper. But I figure a body can't be doing that and cooking at the same time.
No, I don't think they hardly could, Jed.
Right. Now, if somebody will get Mr. Drysdale, we'll all sit around while supper's cooking and listen to the kind of music that has made the name of Bodine famous from Oxford to Eureka Spring.
Ever see anybody bake a fluffier pie than that one?
Some folks don't know that cake is fluffy and pies is juicy.
It fell. You did that on purpose, Pearl Bodine.
My pie can't fall.
It can't, huh?
Just did.
Granny!
Pearl, I ain't never heard you play the piano any prettier than you're playing that right. You ain't playing the piano.
You betcha I ain't!
Before the battle, mother, I am thinking most of you. Just before
same way, Jethrine. Mr. Drysdale, have I got enough money to take everybody out to a nice eating place?
Mr. Clampett, with your money, you can buy the finest restaurant in Beverly Hills.
Before the battle's over, that's just what I might have to do. Come on, everybody.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now hear that? Get out of here!
Jed, you gotta do something about that young'un of yourn.
How'd that happen?
Fighting with a bobcat.
Get hurt?
I reckon so. It went limping off on 3 legs.
I swear I don't know what I'm gonna do about that girl.
Well, the first thing to do is to get her into a dress. She's getting too big to be wearing man's duds. Looky here. She's done popped the buttons off of her shirt again.
Well, Elly May carries herself proud, with her shoulders throwed back.
It ain't her shoulders that's popping these buttons. Fully grown up, rounded out female woman. Time she started acting like one.
Well, one of these days, some boy will come along and start courting her.
They came courting when she was 12. What did she do?
She whopped the tar out of him.
Well, it ain't fitting. Girl running around as wild as a cougar, wrestling, fighting, and hunting. She ought to be doing woman's work. Helping me with the steel.
Yeah, real? I'll speak to her.
Oh, that reminds me. Better go down and stomp out the fire under that mesh.
Hold on now, Granny. You ain't gonna stomp out no fire like that, are you?
Huh? Oh, of course not. Don't want to burn my shoes.
Paul? Granny! Somebody open the door. Howdy, Paul.
What you got there?
Stranger,
Where'd you get him?
I pinged him with a rock.
Sure.
He was skulking around down by the slough. Figured he might be a revenuer.
He ain't no revenuer.
Then can I keep him?
Of course not.
Well, I caught him.
Don't matter.
Well, he won't be no trouble. I could keep him out in the smokehouse.
Elly May, you can't keep people like they were dogs and cats.
Ooh, 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 ow, ooh, that's hard. Who's that?
Some feller Elly found nosing around.
Beamed him with the rock so it'd be easier to tote.
Here, fellas from the petroleum company.
What's a petroleum?
I don't know. He asked me if he could do some wildcatting down by the slough. I said, help yourself. We're glad to get rid of the critters.
What'd he say?
Just kind of laughed. But the laugh's on him. There ain't no wildcats down there at that slough.
No, it's too full of oil.
Oh, what happened? Where am I?
This here's the Clampett place. I'm Jed Clampett, my young and Elly May, and Granny. Granny says you've been doing some wildcatting.
There's no need to. Mr. Clampett, that swamp of yours is full of oil.
I could have told you that.
Well, my company would like to pump it out.
Yeah, I like that too, but I just can't afford to have it done.
No, you don't understand. You see, you wouldn't have to pay for it.
Oh, I don't take favors from strangers.
No, Mr. Clampett, you see, you're a very rich man.
How big a rock did you bean him with?
No bigger than a hedge apple.
Listen, I've got to call my office in Tulsa. Have you got a telephone?
A what?
A telephone? Or maybe one of your neighbors has one. It's well, down in this country, it's probably a box attached to the wall. And, you talk into it, and they can hear you in Tulsa.
Maybe you better sit down for a spell.
Oh, I haven't time. Listen, where's the nearest airfield?
Airfield?
You know, Granny, that's one of them there fields that's up in the air.
Oh, never mind. mind. I'll find it myself. Listen, now don't you sell that swamp till you hear from me. I'm flying to Tulsa.
Now he thinks he's got wings.
There it is, Mr. Brewster. On the tests and surveys, I'd say that's going to be one of the richest pools since East Texas.
News like this is bound to get out. Let's go down and get Clampetts' name on a deal.
Where's the gun? Where's the gun? Oh, there.
What's the matter?
You want to see what just flew over Blueberry Ridge? What? The dad-blamedest biggest bird you ever laid eyes on.
Probably just an overrode chicken hawk.
Chicken hawk, nothing. That thing could make off with a hog. Hurry up, put that gun together.
No room to land near the cabin, Mr. Brewster. It's too rocky and hilly. Then let's get the sling ready to be lowered.
Well, Mr. Brewster, that might be dangerous.
Hang the danger. We're going to be the first oil company down there if it kills you.
Me?
Don't worry. If it's safe, I'll follow you.
Granny, I see it. Here it is. Land of mercy, look at that.
What you doing, Granny?
That thing's only got one claw, but danged if it ain't grabbed up a man.
Hurry, Paul, it's my stranger.
Where is it?
Just flew over the house. I'll get it on the other side.
You kill it, Granny?
No, but I made it drop that stranger.
Jethro! Stop this thing!
Granny! Granny!
Yes, Jim?
Granny, grab a hold of something and hang on. Cousin Pearl and that overgrown son of hers is headed right for the cabin of that old truck.
Heaven protect us. Did they hit us, Jed?
No, but I think they sure want the chicken house.
Jed, I'm sure sorry about the chicken house, but nobody got hurt. Jethro, I told you to get rid of them worn-out brakes.
I did, Ma. That's how come we ain't got none.
Get on out and lift the chicken house back on its foundation. Jed?
Yeah.
Jed, Elly May came running over to my place, and she said you sold the swamp to some oil company.
Well, yeah, I guess I did.
What did they pay you for it?
Well, he ain't paid me nothing yet. The Brewster fella said he'd bring the money later.
How much they going to pay you?
Well, he said that'd depend some on how much oil they could pump out.
Well, he must have mentioned some figure. What was it?
Well, now, Pearl, you know that old swamp ain't worth shucks.
Jed Clampett, you got slickered and you're ashamed to admit it.
That's just what I told you.
Granny, how much they gonna pay him?
All right, I'll tell you. He said around somewhere between 25 and 100.
25 and 100?
I know it don't sound like much, but Mr. Brewster seemed to set great store by the fact he's gonna pay me in some new kind of dollar.
There ain't no new kind of dollar.
Well, it's new to me. I've heard of gold dollars, silver dollars, paper dollars, but he says he's gonna pay me in, what do you call them, Granny?
$1 million.
$1 million?
He wrote the whole thing out on this piece of paper. Here, you can see for yourself. I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff.
Let's see here now. Saints in heaven. Granny, give me the jug.
It's empty, but I'll fetch some.
I'll go, Granny.
Jed, you're a millionaire. A millionaire.
Yeah, that's what that Brewster fella kept calling me. I didn't know just how to take it.
He meant you're rich.
Me?
The richest man in these hills. Maybe in the whole state. Oh, Jed, you can have anything you want. Do anything you want. Go any place you want.
Yeah, that's another thing he kept saying. He said he reckoned I'd be moving away from here soon. What do you think, Pearl? You think I ought to move?
Jed, how can you even ask? Look around you. You're 8 miles from your nearest neighbor. You're overrun with skunks, possums, coyotes, bobcats. You use kerosene lamps for light. You cook on a wood stove, summer and winter. You're drinking homemade moonshine, washing with homemade lye soap. And your bathroom is 50 feet from the house, and you ask, should you move?
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Man, be a dang fool to leave all this.
Oh, there you are, Jed. You misunderstood me. I meant you should move away. And you know where I'd go if I was you?
Where?
California.
California?
Yes, sir. Beverly Hills, California. Jed, remember the time that your pa took us to Eureka Springs to see the movie picture?
Yeah.
Well, the actors that make them movie pictures live in Beverly Hills.
Go on.
Yes, sir.
Well, doggies. Wouldn't that be something? Living in the same neck of the woods with old Tom Mix.
It sure would. And we could come visit you. I was saying, Jed, folks claim California's got it all beat. Why, things grow twice as big out there.
Jethro would be a whopper, wouldn't he?
He could help you move. He's awful handy at lifting and toting, and he could drive you out in my truck.
I tell you what, Pearl. I'm going to have to study on this. When that Brewster fella comes back, I'll ask him what he thinks.
Well, your cousin is right about that, Mr. Clampett. Beverly Hills is a choice residential area, and lots of millionaires do settle there.
Folks like me, huh?
Well, millionaires.
And movie stars, too.
Oh, yes, yes.
Is Tom Mix there?
No, I'm afraid Mr. Mix is dead.
Oh? Oh, yeah. What's the matter with me? Remember, Pearl, he got shot at the end of that picture.
Well, there are plenty other movie stars, and that's where Jed wants to live. Ain't it, Jed?
I do like the notion of living in the hills. Never could stand flat country.
Mr. Clampett, I think it only fair. That is, well, I think you may have a wrong idea about Beverly Hills.
Is that where you live?
No, my home is in Tulsa.
Well, say, maybe you could get us a place there in your neighborhood.
Mr. Clampett, let's not beat around the bush. You will love Beverly Hills.
Then that's it. Can you steer Jed onto a good place?
No, I can get the bank out there to handle it for him.
He'd like a nice big place with plenty of room for his kinfolk to visit him.
Is the foreigner staying to supper?
I'm ashamed to say I ain't asked him. How about it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, no trouble. What you cooking tonight, Granny?
Mustard greens and possum innards.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that, Mr. Brewster?
Very clearly.
Want to change your mind?
Not this time.
Well, if you should happen to come back tomorrow, we'll be having leftovers. That's the thing about possum innards. He's just as good as second date. Ellie, if old Duke sits there with you, there ain't gonna be room for Granny.
Oh, that's all right, Paul. Granny ain't going.
Who says she ain't?
She says she ain't.
That's right, Uncle Jed. She's just sitting on the back porch in her rocker, and she says that's as close to California as you're gonna get her.
We'll see about that. Dang if I ain't got me the muliest women folk. We ain't never gonna get there. Now, what's all this nonsense about you ain't going to California?
Ain't no nonsense to it. If the good Lord had wanted me in California, he'd have put me in California.
Maybe he's just getting around to it. The Book says he moves in mysterious ways.
Well, if he moves me, I'll go. But you and Big Jethro ain't a budging me.
Granny, this here Beverly Hills sounds like the kind of place you'd like. That Brewster fella says they got smogs out there.
What's a smog?
Well, me and Jethro figured out that's a small hog. And you heard what Pearl said. It ain't got no snow out there. You could run your still year-round.
Run it the year round here.
Yeah, but walking down through the snow to the still always makes you feel so miserable.
I might feel miserable walking down, but the way I feels coming back makes up for it.
Hey, damn it, friend. We've been planning and talking about this trip for days. You never said you wouldn't go.
Never said I wouldn't either.
But that Brewster feller has bought us a house in them Beverly Hills. He sent our $25 million to the bank out there.
Well, you just chase on out after it. I'm staying right here. And I ain't afeared neither.
Granny, I ain't leaving you here alone.
And I ain't a budging out of this rocker.
Jethro, what does that sign say?
It says Beverly Hills.
You hear that, Granny? We're there.
They call them hills? Why, we got moles that can push up higher ridges than that.
Well, leastways, these hills will be among our kind of folks.
This deposit of $25 million to the account of J.D. Clampett.
J.D.?
As in Rockefeller. Elevates us to third position in capital assets and assures our bank of... Come in.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Drysdale.
All right, Taylor. Well, are we all set to give the Clampetts a red carpet reception?
Well, I'm afraid Mrs. Drysdale still isn't too happy, sir.
Yes, I know. Oh, my wife is very upset that I got the estate next to ours for the Clampetts. Says I don't even know what kind of people they are.
Do you?
I know to the dollar what kind of people they are. They're my kind of people. Loaded. Taylor, have the gardeners got the grounds in order?
Yes, sir. But I'm afraid that's another thing your wife is upset about.
Oh?
Well, you see, your gardeners have been working on their lawn all week. Why, they've mowed it, trimmed it, fed it, clipped it.
I don't care if they lather it and shave it. This is the most beautiful mansion in Beverly Hills. I want every square inch of ground within those walls in apple pie... Oh. Yes? Oh, hello, Margaret. No, dear, I'm very What? For good heavens, did you call the police? I'll be right there.
What happened?
The Clampett estate is being invaded by a band of outlaws.
Invaded?
Yes, they're holding the gardeners at gunpoint.
Sure is lucky we come along when we did.
That's the truth. The way they were slipping through that gate, another 5 minutes and that whole darn prison would have been empty. Jethro, you sure that's a prison?
Yeah, Uncle Jed. I seen pictures. Only thing is, how come there ain't no guards on them walls?
Probably done them in with them knives and things.
These killers, if I ever did see any. Fine neighborhood we's moving into.
You hear that? Hot digging, there's bobcats in these hills.
Them sirens! Somebody's calling the law.
I reckon they's gonna be mighty grateful for what we done. Folks out here has got a strange way of showing they're grateful.
You've locked up one of the richest men in the country. Mr. Clampett, I don't know how to apologize. I'm deeply humiliated. What have you cutthroats done with J.D. Clampett?
I'm Jed Clampett, and I'd appreciate it if you let go of my Sunday shirt.
You're J.D. Clampett, the oil millionaire?
Yep. This here's my nephew, Jethro.
Howdy. Quickly, man, unlock this cell. Mr. Clampett, On behalf of the entire city of Beverly Hills, I extend our deep and humble apologies for this unfortunate and embarrassing incident. Oh, I'm Milburn Drysdale, president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills. My car is waiting to take you and your family to your new home. We want you to know how happy we are to have you, your handsome nephew, your lovely daughter, and your beautiful mother.
Stop this car! Mr. Drysdale, you tricked us. You just took us out of jail so you could bring us back up here to prison. Head for the hills, everybody! Oh, wait! Come back! It's not a prison, it's your home! Oh, wait! Mr. Clampetts, listen to me! Wait! Come back!
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now hear that? Get out of here!
Trust him not, dear gentle lady. Hear his voice be low and sweet. Listen to the gypsy's warning. Gentle lady, trust him not. Gentle lady, trust him not. A gentle lady, trust him not.
Excuse me, Granny, I'm going to the store. Is there anything you need?
I'll check my supplies whilst you string these beans.
That's women's work.
What'd you say?
I said stringing beans is women's work.
It's anybody's work. I tells them to do it.
Well, I ain't gonna do it.
Jethro, that's the first time you've ever talked back to Granny, and it's the last. Now you go out and cut me a hickory switch and meet me in the woodshed.
We ain't got no hickory tree, no woodshed neither.
That's the truth, ain't it?
Yeah. Hey, now what'd you want to go and do that for?
Do you want to string beans, or do you want to stand up for your meals for the next few days?
I want to string beans.
I'll do it. Let's see what I got here. 1 deviled hawk eggs, 2 pickled pawpaws, 3 harmony grits, and 1 salted down hog jowls, 1 sack of salt, 1 sack of sugar, and 1 sack of dried beans, 1 skunk, 1 skunk.
Here, Charlie.
Elly May. Is Charlie a critter about this size with a white streak down his back?
Here, Granny, you see me?
He's in that cabinet over there. Now you go over there and get him out.
Come on, Charlie. He likes to crawl in dark places and snooze.
Elly May, I never said nothing when you drug home 14 dogs, 3 cats, a rooster, and a duck, and a baby lion, and a brace of goats. But my dingies, I ain't gonna hold still for skunks.
Granny, you're scaring him.
What do you suppose he done to me? I've looked at many a sack of beans, but it's the first one that ever looked back at me.
Sorry, Granny, but I got him to help old Duke.
How's he gonna do that?
Well, Pa says old Duke was a-losing his smeller. He can't trail nothing no more. So I figured if he could sniff any trail, it'd be Charlie's.
Yeah, your pa's been quite worried here lately about old Duke's nose going bad on him.
A raccoon is your favorite. Come on, get him, boy. Now, come on, get him, boy. Train him. Train him. Get him, boy. Get that old raccoon. Come on. Come on. He's kicking dirt in your face. You ain't gonna stand for that, are you? Sure is a pitiful thing, Duke. Have a nose that big and not have it working.
Pa? Pa, is old Duke any better?
Really, honey? There's a dog used to be able to trail a butterfly through a swamp after a rain. Now he couldn't smell cabbage cooking.
I got something here I'll bet you can smell. He won't do nothing, Paul. He likes me.
Yeah, well, how's he feel about me?
Charlie, this here's my Paul. Now, you be nice to him. And this here's old Duke. You let him get a good whip, and then he's gonna trail you.
Now, Charlie, it's all in fun. No hard feelings.
Maybe he caught you cold, Paul, and got his nose stopped up.
Either that or he just don't give a hoot.
He looks worried.
Well, me, all hounds look worried. But I have noticed him looking over at the Drysdale place every now and then, kind of whimpering.
Bet you he misses Cotton Patch.
Who?
The white poodle Mrs. Drysdale brought over from France to marry up with her poodle.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the hospital. Been there a couple of weeks or so. I reckon that's why Duke's a pining.
Duke, you just have to get her off your mind. She belongs to somebody else.
Oh, Duke, don't cry.
Jed! Uncle Jed, look what was in the mailbox for you. Come all the way from Paris, France.
For me?
Says right on it, Monsieur J.D. Clampetts. Hey, I'll bet you that's from that pretty French lady.
The one who brought Cotton Patch over.
Yeah, the one you was courting and sparking.
What are you talking about, courting and sparking?
Well, you shaved for her, and in the middle of the day.
You slickered down your hair with smell.
Yeah, and you shined your shoes, and it weren't even Sunday.
You put on your swallowtail coat and your courting derby.
And then you went right on over to...
Ain't you too young and got some chores to do or something?
No, Pop.
Why don't you open that up and see what that pretty French lady sent you?
Probably ain't from her at all. Probably just some catalog.
From Paris, France?
Ellie, why don't you go out and help Granny and take Charlie back where you found him? Jethro, you take Duke for a run through the hills. Do you both good.
Well, where are you going, Uncle Jed?
You just take care of Duke, I'll take care of me.
Come on, Duke. Uncle Jed wants me to take you for a run. Duke, you can't run unless you get to your feet. Now, come on, Duke. Try to get both ends up at once.
Jethro, run me over to Mr. Drysdale Bank.
Okay, Uncle Jed. I can run you a heap easier than I can run old Duke.
Wait a minute. I mean, run me down in a truck.
Oh. Oh, all right. I'll go fetch you.
One of these days, I gotta have a long talk with that boy.
I talked to the doctor at the hospital, and he said Claude's wife and babies can come home today. Isn't it exciting? Aren't you thrilled?
Beyond description.
Claude is the father of quintuplets. Aren't you proud of him, Milburn?
Margaret, it is not unusual for a dog litter to number 12 or even more.
Why must you always belittle Claude? You know how sensitive he is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Claude. Good show. Congratulations. Now, I've got a lot of work to do, Margaret.
You certainly have. We want you to help pick 5 baby names. 3 boys and 2 girls. We want your suggestions.
Well, my first suggestion is for you to go home and do it. I've got a bank to run.
Bank. That's all your dad'ums talks about. Now, of course, the first boy should be Claude Jr., and the first girl should be Claudette. Claude wanted to name one of the boys after his dad'ums, but Milburn just doesn't sound French.
Hallelujah.
Let's all sit down, and we can go over my list of names. Claude, you can lie down. Poor darling. He's a nervous wreck. He's chewed his nails right down to the paw.
Well, I'm going to be doing a little nail chewing myself before this is over.
Isn't it exciting?
Mademoiselle Denise.
She said she's going to send me a picture.
Such a beautiful woman. So sweet and so charming.
Funny thing about her, I couldn't understand a word she was saying, but I sure did like the way she was saying them.
Shall I read the letter to you?
Yes, ma'am, but not too loud.
Cher Monsieur Clampett, dear Mr. Clampett, here is the photograph I promised. I shall be coming to Beverly Hills again very soon now, and I hope that I may take one of you back to Paris with me.
Well, I wonder which one of us she's going to take. Be a treat for Granny.
No, Mr. Clampett, she means a photograph of you.
Oh, I don't think I got none.
Leave that to me. It's easily arranged. I read on. Mrs. Drysdale has cabled me that Colette is expecting and has invited me to come and take my pick of the litter of puppies. I am looking forward to seeing you then. Sincere best wishes, your friend, Mademoiselle Denise Bouchard.
Doggies. Sure is handy to understand that foreign writing and talking. Reckon you could learn me?
Well, yes, in time.
Today?
I could give you a lesson at noon.
How long would it take?
Oh, an hour.
Hour? That ain't bad.
Well, I'll tell Mr. Drysdale and be right over.
Thank you.
Come in.
Sure is going to be nice talking fern with you.
How do you do? It is good to see you again. Thank you. I am fine. How do you do? It is good to see you again. I am fine.
Who you talking to?
Bonjour, madame. Quel plaisir de vous voir. Merci beaucoup. Je vais bien.
Oh, you're that foreign-speaking lady that Jed got all frizzled up over. Come on in. Yeah, sure nice to see you again.
Ah oui. How do you do? It is...
Just fine, thanks. How are you?
How do you do? It is...
Just fine, thank you. How are you?
How do you do?
I don't know whether you don't hear me or you don't believe me.
Granny, you want me to... Oh, howdy, ma'am. Nice to see you again. How are you?
How do you do?
Oh, just as frisky as a flea on a fat dog. Thank you.
Don't do no good to tell her. She'll only ask you again.
How do you do? It,
See what I mean? Kind of rattle. Better take her out to the kitchen and give her some coffee.
Ah, coffee. Bon.
Well, I reckon she could scare you up a bone. Wouldn't you rather have a donut?
How do you do?
Get that coffee, quick.
Granny?
Jed, you got company.
Who?
That beautiful foreign lady that you were so sweet on. From Paris.
She here already?
In the kitchen having coffee.
Doggone, another hour and I'd have had my French lesson.
Where you going?
Going up to wash my hands.
Hey, Uncle Jed, you done changed again in the middle of the day. Hey, Elly May, Granny, come on in, see Uncle Jed.
If your brain was as big as your mouth, you'd be teaching school instead of going to it.
Paul, you done slickered your hair down again. And put smell 'em on it, too. And shined your shoes.
You better be quieting down, Elly, or you're going to get a mouthful of hat.
Monsieur Clampetts.
Oh, howdy there, Miss Denise. You look as pretty as a bag full of striped candy.
Je suis si content de vous revoir. Je pensais constamment à vous à Paris. Je souhaite que vous ayez reçu de mes nouvelles avec ma photographie. J'attendrai avec plaisir et impatience d'avoir votre photo signée de votre main et que je garderai toujours près de moi.
Just my luck. Another hour and I'd have been able to understand every word she said.
Margaret, this was my den, and you said I could have it back.
All right, dear. If you'd rather I add a new wing to the house.
Ah, never mind. I'll keep on using the basement.
Mildred, isn't it cunning?
Where are the puppies?
They're with their mumsy-wumsy.
I'm surprised you didn't hire a baby nurse.
Oh, I must speak to the poodle pediatrician about that. Melbourne, this is going to be the most thrilling moment. Our first look at our first grandchildren.
Will you please stop calling them that? They are dogs. Now, let's have our look so I can get back to the bank.
Oh, but wait, dear. Don't forget your mask.
What? For heaven's sake.
Oh! It's that hillbilly beast. Shoo! Scat! You mongrel!
Margaret, something tells me you closed that window a couple of months too late.
Oh, Milton, how are we going to break this to Claude? He's already in analysis.
Now, try again, Mr. Clampett.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Once more.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Good. Now, what does that mean?
Open the window?
No, that is ouvrez la fenêtre.
The pen of my aunt.
No, that is la plume de ma tante. Bonjour, mon ami is good day, my friend.
Oh, that's right. How long have we been at this French lesson?
Oh, about 55 minutes.
And you say it takes an hour?
That's right.
Well, them last 5 minutes must be doozies.
Now let's take Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
Good. Now, what does that mean?
Let's see now. The pencil box?
Mr. Clampett, I love you.
Well, thank you, ma'am, but since we only got 5 minutes left, maybe we better stick to business.
I think that will be enough for today. Where is Mademoiselle Denise?
Oh, Elly May took her down to the cement pond to meet her critters. Bonjour, mon ami.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, howdy, you furry little barman.
Well, if that's French, we've been talking it for years.
I rather imagine she learned that from listening to Elly May.
Jed! Miss Drysdale's here, and she's squawking like a 2-pound chicken laying a 3-pound egg.
There you are, Mademoiselle Denise. You may take this wanton hussy back to the streets of Paris, where she belongs.
What, Mrs. Drysdale?
Milburn, show them why. Oh, quel bébé précieux! Monsieur Duc, je pensais que vous êtes le papa.
Duke, there sure enough is a family resemblance.
He's as guilty as sin. Claude will be over later to demand satisfaction and to wreak vengeance on this mongrel.
If that means he's going to tangle with Duke here, I wouldn't recommend it. I've seen this old hound dog hold his own with a bobcat.
And as we're calling him a mongrel, the bloodhound happens to have much more ancient lineage than the French poodle.
Milburn, are you going to tolerate this insult?
Why not? I'm not a French poodle.
Miss Drysdale, does all this talking mean we can keep these here puppies?
And this shameless canine coquette. Come, Milburn. It's time for Claude's tranquilizer.
Well, is everybody staying for supper?
Well, Granny, I kind of figured that Miss Denise being so far from home and all, that she might want to eat supper out at one of them French eating places.
Well, good. If that's what she wants, let her go. How many of us does that leave?
Well, you don't understand. I'd be going with her.
Well, cooking ain't good enough for you, huh?
Granny, it ain't that. It's just, I'd like to spend a little time with her alone.
Oh? Well, why didn't you say so?
Miss Hathaway, would you please ask Miss Denise if she'd allow me to take her out for victuals?
Certainly. Monsieur Clampetts, voudrez-vous inviter à dîner? Enchanté, monsieur. Je serai charmé et honoré.
Something tells me that meant yes.
Well, we're ready.
We?
Yes, you'll need an interpreter.
Well,
Mr. Clampett, if you're thinking three's a crowd, you're right. But I have taken care of that. Jethro? Attendez.
Hey, Uncle Jed, Miss Jane says we's going to double date.
Well, that wasn't exactly the way I planned.
Mr. Clampett, I told Jethro that if you went out tonight, it would be a double date.
Oh, well, in that case, I can't let you break your promise. Double date it'll be. Well, ma'am, we didn't talk much, but I can't remember when I've had a better time. How'd you like it?
Well, Dougie.
How about you two in the back seat? You enjoy the double date?
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now hear that? Get out of here!
Said you want him a Benny Rooster for something.
I sure do, Ellie. I just heard that Jane Hathaway is sick of bed, and I want to cook her up a nice big pot of chicken broth.
Well, that's not... Granny, you ain't fixing to cook Earl.
Oh, of course not, Ellie. But I figured you could turn him loose in the neighborhood, and he just might bring home a plump little hen. Good-looking little fella here, Earl.
Oh, Granny, I don't reckon Earl wants you to cook none of his sweethearts neither.
Well, maybe you're right. Just turn him loose outside. And if a chicken hawk shows up, Jethro can bag him. They make awful good broth if you simmer them long enough.
Jethro tells me Miss Jane is ill and you're fixing the doctor for her.
That's right, Jed. Trouble is, I don't know for sure just what she's got. What she told you, Jethro?
Oh, she's got something called sick benefits.
Sick benefits?
Yes, sir. Well, I called her apartment this morning to find out could she come to supper tonight. And she says, I'm sick in bed, Jethro. And I says, well, Granny will come on over and doctor you. And she says, well, you tell Granny there's already a doctor on the way because I got sick benefits.
I bet it's something like a sick headache or maybe a sick stomach.
I reckon it's worse than that, Ellie, because this is catching.
Is that a fact?
Yes, sir. Miss Jane says pretty near everybody that works down at the bank has got sick benefits.
That's because they don't wear ass-affinity bags.
Appears to me like Mr. Drysdale got himself a heap of trouble down to the bank.
Is Mr. Drysdale sick too, Jethro?
No, I asked Miss Jane that. And she says the executives, that's the higher-ups, like the vice presidents, they don't have sick benefits.
Probably because they eat better and they get more rest. And they wear ass-affinity bags around their neck.
Well, I reckon we all ought to pitch in and help Mr. Drysdale. He must be mighty short-handed down to the bank.
Well, I can help count the money. Arithmetic is my best study in school. I'm up to 12 times 12 now.
Well, how much is 12 times 12, Jethro?
Wait a minute. Okay, now hold up 2 fingers. Okay. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36.
Never mind, Jethro. We's all right, proud of you, but right now we all better hurry down to the bank, see how we can help Mr. Drysdale. Come on, everybody. I'll go in first, the rest of you wait here.
How come?
We don't know how catching that sickness is.
Miss Hathaway, how can you do this to me? Now, you know the bankers' convention is in town, and I'm making the keynote speech. Well, you haven't finished writing it for me. Now, listen, couldn't you come in today and be sick tomorrow? 103 fever. Well, I'll turn on the air conditioning. Don't pay any attention to Dr. Murphy. I know him. He's trying to make a big thing out of this so he can collect a big fee. Oh, fine, Doctor. I knew you were there. That's why I made a joke about it. Huh? Oh, of course. Certainly. Yes. Keep her in bed. Goodbye, Doctor. Come in.
How do you, Mr. Drysdale?
Mr. Clampett, hello. What can I do for you?
Well, I reckon right now it's what can I do for you? We heard about all the sickness.
Oh, don't let that concern you.
Anything you need?
Well, nothing except a secretary, a new doctor, a speechwriter, and someone to take over my work.
For a fellow with all them troubles, you sure keeping your spirits up.
Well, I try to keep laughing so I won't cry. Oh, will you answer the door?
Oh, howdy, young feller. You want to see Mr. Drysdale?
Yeah.
Come in, come in.
No, not today. Now, leave me alone.
See you later, Mr. Drysdale.
Yes, and thank you so much.
Just being neighborly.
Who was that?
Never mind him. Who are you?
Oh, we met the other day when I started to work here, Mr. Drysdale. I'm the new teller trainee. My name is...
What do you want?
So I noticed that you were without a secretary, and, well, I thought I might be able to help.
You take shorthand?
Oh, I don't mean me, sir. However, there is someone from the secretarial pool that I'd like to recommend.
Oh? Who?
Well, the chick, the young lady at the first desk, I believe her name is Kitty Northcross.
The one that wears the tight sweaters?
Yeah. Does she? Oh, I only observed her efficiency.
Yeah. Forget it.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, Skipper.
Who?
Well, sir, I just got out of the Navy, and I like to consider this bank my new ship, and you my new captain. And I'm proud to be aboard, sir, because I know that your genius will pilot this ship of finance through the reefs of adversity and the stormy seas of competition until we drop anchor in the harbor of success.
Bilgewater.
Aye, aye, sir. Thank you, sir.
And now to continue my speech. Gentlemen, it is my observation that a bank is like a ship. Its president, the captain. It is his responsibility to pilot that ship through the reefs of adversity and the stormy seas of competition until he drops anchor in the harbor of success. At this point, take a sip of water and wait for applause.
Oh, good, Ellie, you're all ready. We best be getting down to the bank quick as we can.
Well, Pop, do you reckon I know enough to be a banker's secretary?
Shucks, yes, Ellie, especially since I'm going to be the banker.
Oh, did Mr. Drysdale take it?
Oh, he had to speak at a convention. He says all he needs is a secretary, a speechwriter, a new doctor, and somebody to do his work.
Granny's a dandy doctor, but who can write speeches?
Well, Jethro found one in a book already wrote. He's in there helping Granny now mix some medicine for Miss Jane.
Now my secret yarb. Don't stand too close to it while it's working, Jethro.
That'll cure Miss Jane, huh, Granny?
It'll cure anything. I gave it to a sick horse one morning. That afternoon, he won a race.
You doctored a racehorse?
No, a plow horse. He never raced before.
Jethro? Pa says let's get it going.
Come on, Ellie. You got your speech with Mr. Drysdale?
Yes, ma'am. One of the greatest speeches ever wrote. 7 years ago, brought forth to this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
My dingies, that's a dandy speech. I'm proud of you.
I didn't write it. That was written by Abraham Lincoln, the president that whooped the South.
South was not whooped.
Granny, General Lee surrendered to General Grant.
He did not. General Lee figured that Grant was a blacksmith. And he handed him his sword so he could sharpen it. And don't you ever forget it!
Oh, hello, Margaret. What? You want me to pick you up at the beauty shop when? But, dear, you know I'm making the keynote address at the bankers' convention. All right, darling, I'll cut it short.
Will you stay out of here, you nut? I'm sorry. I thought it was someone else. I'm terribly upset today.
That's why we's all pitching in to help. Ellie here is going to take Miss Jane's place while Granny gets her well.
No, you don't have to do that.
Oh, it's no more than any neighbor do.
Well, I do appreciate your kindness. I'm running late, so please make yourself comfortable. See you later.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, here's your speech.
Oh, I did forget it, didn't I? Thank you, Jethro.
Well, you will.
Well, goodbye, all, and thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.
He's gone, Pa. Reckon you in charge now.
Are you going to take his place, Uncle Jed?
Sure going to try.
Well, sit down to your desk and go to banking. I want to see how you do it.
Me too.
Are you banking yet, Pa?
Well, I reckon not, Ellie. I'm just waiting to bank.
How do you do it, Uncle Jed?
Well, according to Mr. Drysdale, banking is mostly giving people money when they need it.
I'll get it, Pa. That's what a secretary's supposed to do. Howdy, this here's Mr. Drysdale's office, but Mr. Clampetts in charge now. Yes, sir, you bet you can.
Howdy there. You need money? Well, come right on over and get it.
Hot diggity, he's banking now, everybody.
Come in, Miss Northcross.
Gee, Mr. Billington.
Just call me Bob, doll.
Was this going to be my new office? Bob Doll?
Could be, honey. I've been speaking to Milburn about you.
Milburn?
The president, baby, the president.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale.
Had a girl, oink.
Oink?
Just a term of affection, doll. It means I'm a hog about you.
Oh, that's cute. I think.
Swell. Now, listen, about tonight, this apartment where you live, can you cook there?
Well, I don't know. I've never tried.
You got a stove?
I think so.
Well, how about a can opener?
Oh, I know we've got one of those. I used it the other night to open a bottle of wave set when we did our hair. Mother and me.
Your mother lives with you?
No, I live with her.
Swell.
Rescuing the Army of American citizens from the Dunkirk of financial difficulty. Let us take them aboard.
That's enough, Jethro. No wonder Mr. Drysdale needed himself a speechwriter. That's pitiful.
I didn't understand it.
Me neither, and I'm a banker.
Well, I reckon I'd best get out to Miss Hathaway's desk. I ain't sure I know what to do.
Well, just watch others, Ellie, and do like them. That's the way we learn.
Yes, sir, Pop.
Now, listen, honey, is your mother going to be home tonight?
Oh, we're going to set our hair again.
Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Well, she's sitting at my desk.
Get lost, honey, huh?
But look,
Mr. Billington.
Oh, Mr. Billington.
Wait, in the vault.
Well, what about tonight? Can I tell Mom you're coming by?
Not tonight, honey. I don't need my hair set. Hey.
Hey.
This is gonna be wild. Tell me something. You don't live with your mother, do you?
No, sir, do you?
No, sir. What's your name?
Elly May Clampetts.
Well, there it is, Ellie, and you may clamp it. You don't by any chance wrestle at night, do you?
Oh, I like to wrestle anytime.
Scooby-Doo.
Well, Scooby-Doo, you want to wrestle now?
Later, baby, later. Listen, suppose I drop over to your place tonight.
Well, fine.
You haven't got a roommate, have you?
No, sir, I got a room all to myself.
Now, listen, here's the action. I swing by your pad about 7. I bring some bossa nova records, and we trample a few grapes, huh? And we blast off to the local coffee shop, one where they don't hit me for too much bread. Then we swing back to your pad for a little moon orbit. Do you dig?
Oh, yes, sir.
Crazy.
Whenever Paul goes fishing. I dig his word.
You wouldn't put me on, would you?
Why, sure. Jethro? I ain't tall enough to put you on myself, but Jethro can do it.
Yes, who's Jethro?
Yeah, Elly May?
If this little fella wants to be put on something.
Okay. Where would you want me to put you, Nova?
Oh, I'd like to be put on your list of friends.
And now, gentlemen, it's with a great deal of pleasure that I introduce our keynote speaker, the distinguished president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, Mr. Milburn Drysdale.
Fellow bankers, 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation. Well, now, some of you seem to be amused because I have chosen the humble words of Abraham Lincoln to keynote this convention. But those of you who understand banking at its highest level will understand the significance of these words as I say, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Paul, this here's Mr. Wilson, the man that called you about borrowing money.
Well, howdy there, Mr. Wilson. I'm pleased to meet you. Sit down a spell.
Well, thank you, sir.
Hey, have a smoke?
Yes, thank you.
Elly May, hey, Mr. Wilson, like a nice cold pitcher of spring water or some coffee or tea or something.
Would you, Mr. Wilson?
No, thanks, young lady.
You look all tuckered out.
Yes, I am. I've been going from bank to bank trying to borrow some money.
Didn't they have none?
Well, none that they wanted to loan me. You see, Mr. Clampett, my chicken ranch is mortgaged to the hilt. I've no credit, no collateral. I need money to buy feed.
Well, we got a vault full of it. How much money you need?
See, if I just had enough... Are you kidding me?
Elly May, take him out of the vault and show him the money.
No. Would you really lend me the money?
Well, that's what banks is for, ain't it?
Well, yes, but I'm poor. I have no security.
Ain't no shame being poor as long as you're honest.
How do you know I'm honest?
Well, if you wasn't, you'd be telling me about how much you got instead of how much you ain't got.
Mr. Clampett, I've never met a banker like you before.
Oh, shucks, Mr. Drysdale can outbank me any day in the week.
He must be a wonderful man.
You bet he is the best banker around here. Now, how much money would you like to have?
Well, sir, I really need $5,000, but I can squeeze by on 3 or 4.
Elly May, go fetch this man $5,000.
Yes, sir, Paul.
Bring him a cup of that cider that Granny sent down to ward off sick benefits. Doggone if he don't look like he's coming down with it.
Okay, Paul.
Hey, Doc. I hear some square put the bite on your old man for a gang of bread.
What?
But he laid $5,000 on him.
Oh, you mean Mr. Wilson?
That's a cat. How'd he get it?
Well, he told Paul he needed it for his chickens.
You're kidding. What would chickens do with all that money?
It was for Mr. Wilson to buy feed. He's got a chicken ranch.
And your dad gave him $5,000 for chicken feed?
Why, sure, Paul's got 35 million.
35 million?
And he likes folks that raises critters.
Do you think he's got time to see a young critter raiser?
Well, sure, go on in.
I'll dig you later, Jack. Mr. Clampett, sir, my name's Bob Billington, and your lovely daughter told me that you could spare me a few moments of your valuable time.
You bet I will, young fella. What's on your mind?
Well, sir, I work here at the bank, but well, my heart's back on the ranch. The chicken ranch, that is. Or was, until I lost all of my chickens. Sweet little critters.
How'd you lose them?
Well, sir, I'm not sure. I just woke up one morning and they were gone. I guess one of them left the gate open.
What kind of chickens were they?
Just regular kind, you know, with the wings and the feathers and those crazy-looking feet. Mr. Clampett, if I could just borrow $10,000, then I could get back into the business that I love, raising chickens.
I see. How many chickens you want to start with?
Oh, about $10,000 worth.
How many roosters?
Oh, no roosters, just chickens. These days, you gotta specialize.
Elly May?
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. How was your speech?
Sensational. The high point of the convention. Listen, did a man named Wilson come in here to borrow some money?
Yes, sir, and Paul gave him $5,000.
Oh, bless him. That's what did it.
Did what?
Got me named Banker of the Year. They're putting a plaque in the lobby calling this the Bank with a Heart.
How come?
Well, 6 banks were secretly nominated for the honor. Wilson went to each bank, and this is the only one that gave him money.
Well, that poor man needed it.
Wilson? He's the biggest poultry rancher in the world, and a stockholder in all 6 banks. Oh, is your wonderful father still in there?
Yes, sir.
How about it, Mr. Clampett?
I'm going to give you just what you need.
Great, lay it on me.
A little advice. Get back to your job and forget about chickens.
You were born to command, sir. The voice of authority, the greatest I've ever heard.
What about me?
You are the only one who cuts him, Skipper. What a privilege it is for a young fella like me to see 2 great leaders together. It's a summit meeting, recreated.
Out of my office, out of my bank. You're fired. You're an irresponsible loafer.
May I give you as a reference, sir? Pleasure having served under your command, sir.
Granny, this here's Mr. Billington, and he wants to court me.
Is that true, young fella?
You ever love it is, Granny.
And you got sick benefits?
Loaded with them.
Open your mouth and close your eyes, and Granny will give you a little surprise. Swallow this.
Hey, you know something? When I was in the Navy, I tasted some jungle juice on Okinawa.
Good-looking young fella. Good dancer, too.
I reckon that's a new dance he's been wanting to teach me. It's called the Bossy Nova.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
You hear that? Get out of here!
Oh, hi there, Granny. What you looking at?
Oh, I'm looking at these pictures that Mr. Drysdale took of Sonny and Elly.
Oh, yeah. He's right good, ain't they?
Dandy. Jed, I reckon we'll be having a wedding around here pretty soon.
How'd you know?
Sonny's giving Elly a ring this morning. I couldn't get to sleep last night, and I heard them talking down by the door.
All the way from your bedroom?
Well, my window was open.
That's still a powerful long ways to hear.
Now if you climb out into a tree and shinny down a ways.
You heard Sonny asking Elly to get engaged?
Plain as day. Sonny said, Elly, you gonna be home in the morning? And Elly said, yes. And Sonny said, I'll give you a ring at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, doggies. Was pretty near straight up for 10 right now. Hello? Oh, good morning, son. I mean, Sonny? Yeah, Elly's here. Why don't you come on over? Oh, you want to talk to her on the telephone? Well, just a minute. Can't give a girl no ring on the telephone. Telephone, Ellie.
Okay, Paul. I'll get it up here.
Granny, you hadn't ought to be listening.
Well, it's a lot easier than shinning down a tree in the dark. I tore my nightgown.
I sent a bunch of these back home to Cousin Pearl.
What for?
Yeah, you know how she was always bragging about her daughter, Jethro, going to beat Elly May to the altar?
Yeah. I sure would like to see the look on Pearl's face when she sees this.
Jethro, look at this. And I always bragged that you could beat Elly May to the altar.
I can, Ma. I can outrun Elly May. My legs is longer.
Look, we gotta get busy. Now, what time's that Jasper fella coming to court you?
6 o'clock. He's taking me out in his car.
Oh, no, he ain't. He's courting you right here in my parlor where I can see to it that he gets to the point.
Well, that's where he's taking me, Ma. Perkins Point. There's the barn dance there.
I'm talking about the point of proposing to you. Don't you want to get yourself a husband?
Yes, sir.
Jethro, why couldn't you have been born with some of my brains instead of just my beauty? Of course, I gotta admit that you ain't quite as pretty as Elly May.
I ain't even as pretty as her fella.
You are so.
You got something to show us, Elly May?
Yeah, hold out your hand. Let us take a look.
They's clean, Paul. I washed them with soap.
No ring?
No, Granny, I washed them all the way up to here.
Sonny Drysdale didn't give you no engagement ring?
Shucks, no, Paul. Why would he want to do that? He's gonna take me driving.
That's bad. Out driving in broad daylight ain't no way to get engaged.
What are you talking about? I proposed to your daughter out driving.
In a horse and buggy, that's a heap different. Besides, that old mare of yours knew right where she was going. That way you could turn your attention on Rosella.
That's the truth.
But out driving in an automobile in city traffic, with all them cars trying to hit you, by the time you turn your head to say, will you, somebody has. There's no two ways about it. That child is going to need help to track that Sonny Drysdale.
Elly May don't need to trap no man to get him.
Every man that ever got get was get that way.
Not me. We just happened to stop under a shady elm tree, and I proposed to your daughter on the spur of the moment.
That spur of the moment of yours took us 6 months scheming and planning. Why we even trained that old mare of yours to stop under that shady old elm tree.
Well, any trapping will have to be up to you, Granny. I wouldn't know what to do except I held a shotgun on Sonny.
Well, I'll study on it. Them city fellers might be different. Jed, you reckon we'll ever find out where that music comes from?
I reckon if we keep a looking.
You're wasting your time looking for that there music. I've looked for it a dozen times, and before you can find it, somebody will come a-rapping at the door. See? Told you. Oh, hi, Sonny.
Greetings, all. Elly May ready?
She sure is. She's been ready since she's been 14.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, Elly May, Sonny's here.
What we want to know is, are you ready?
Well, I sure hope you young folks have a dandy drive.
Oh, we shall. I plan to take Ellie on a socially significant drive through Brentwood and Bel Air to show her some of our depressed areas.
Howdy, Sonny.
Elly May! You look positively divine.
So do you, Sonny.
I know.
Don't you bite me.
Elly May, a kiss on the hand is a very proper greeting.
Oh. Come on, everybody. Kiss Sonny's hand.
Please, never mind. On our way.
Well, have a nice drive, y'all.
Yep. And if you pass under a shady elm tree, it won't hurt none to stop for a spell. There they go. Quick, Jethro, start up the the truck while I get the reticule.
Where you going?
To follow him.
Now, hold on, you two. You can't follow Sonny. He'll see you.
They won't know who we are. We'll be wearing dark glasses. He'll think we're a couple of Beverly Hills movie stars out for a drive.
Come on off that truck. Come on.
Jeffrey, did you pour the fudge out to cool?
Yeah, Ma, but I'm afraid it ain't gonna get hard.
Well, if it don't, you and Jasper can eat it with spoons, and I'll tell him I made it. You done dressing?
Yeah, Ma.
Well, come on in here and let me see how you look. Turn around, let me see your sash. You do get the bow straight. Now, I want you to bring out them pillowcases you've been embroidering for your hope chest. The ones with his and hers worked in French knots. Never hurt none to let a beau see you're handy with a needle.
But I ain't. I always stick myself.
Well, if you do, don't bleed on the pillowcase where you'll see it. Now, when you show him the stereopticon pictures, these is the ones I've picked out for you. They'll put him in the right mood. Niagara Falls by moonlight, Wedding under the Bower, The Stolen Kiss, Lily and Russell in tights. Oh, never mind. Now, what are you going to play on the pump organ for him to show off your music talent?
How about Russell O'Spring?
That's a dandy, full of runs and trills. And then there's the part where you cross your hands. Oh, I tell you, Jethro, that's one place you got it over your cousin Elly May playing the pump organ. Them hands can stretch pert near 2 octaves. And them feet is made for pumping. Well, it's almost time for Jasper to get here. How do you feel, darling?
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
My baby shoes. Aren't they cunning?
Awfully stiff. I don't see how you ever walked in.
Mother had them bronzed.
Didn't help much. They're still stiff. What's this thing?
Oh, that's my teddy bear. His name is Pooh. Would you like to kiss him?
Well, not especially.
I guess you'd rather kiss me.
I'll kiss the bear.
Oh, I guess you're not in a very romantic mood. A little music will remedy that. Like to dance?
I ain't never tried.
Well, you're in for a divine experience. I'll teach you. Now watch.
How do I look?
Like something's hurting you. Maybe some rose thorns are sticking your gums.
Enough of these preliminaries. Come here, my dear. Are you frightened?
No, and I ought to be.
Yes, you're in great danger.
How come?
You're in a man's room alone.
No, I ain't. You're here.
You are not playing the game.
Still feeling sick to your stomach, darling?
Yeah, Ma.
Well, I went down to the cellar and I drawed off some homemade elderberry wine. Ain't nothing in the world better for settling a queasy stomach. Of course, according to the rules, you shouldn't touch spirits till your wedding day, but I guess in case of an emergency, a little swallow won't hurt. I know it's a mighty bitter taste in, but try and force a little down. It'll make you feel better. Now, just a little more, Jeffrey. Do it for your ma. Jasper will be here any minute now. Even better?
A little.
I got it figured how we get you to play the pump organ for him. I know just what he'll say when he walks in, because everybody does. He'll say, "Why, I declare, that's a mighty fancy pump organ you got there." And I'll say, "Why, thank you. I'm mighty partial to pump organ music." And then you say, "Why, I'll play something." And then you sit down and you play like you never played before. You understand?
Yes, sir.
There he is. You ain't gonna throw up, are you?
I'll try not.
Evening, Miss Bodine.
Why, Jasper Depew, what a surprise. Catherine, honey, look who's here.
Evening, Jethro.
Jeffrey's had a little nervous upset. I reckon it's the strain of all those beaux that come a-courting. I swear I gotta sweep them out of this parlor every day.
Hey, that's a mighty fancy pump organ you got there, ma'am.
Why, thank you. I'm mighty partial to pump organ music. In fact, I'd just love to hear some pump organ music right now.
I'll play you something, ma'am.
Past dark, and Sonny and Ellie ain't home yet. Where could they be? What are they doing? Are they engaged? Why don't we hear something? Oh, that poor, sweet, innocent Elly May out there in the dark with a man. Jed, maybe something happened. Now, maybe something.
Granny, calm down. Ellie can take care of herself.
I reckon you ain't nervous, huh?
Oh, just sitting here whittling.
Well, what you're whittling on used to be the arm of that chair.
Reckon I am a mite nervous at that.
Now, Jed, when they do get home, you and me have got to see that Sonny don't get away without being proper engaged.
Granny, maybe we's rushing things. Maybe Sonny ain't ready to get married.
Jed, no man is ready to get married. You gotta get him ready. Like you get a steer ready for slaughter.
Can you find something else to compare it to?
Well, here we are. I reckon it's time to say goodnight. I sure do thank you for the nice ride, Sonny.
My pleasure, Elly May. I'll give you a ring in the morning.
Promises, promises.
Would you like to take another drive tomorrow?
Sure would.
Where shall we go?
To the preacher.
Any place you say, Sonny.
Well, see you tomorrow, then.
Oh, here comes the bride. Here comes the bride.
Howdy, Granny.
Well, then, sakes, look who's here. Ed, come say hello to Sonny.
Don't bother, Mr. Clampett. I'm leaving.
I'll show you a shortcut.
Howdy, Sonny.
Good evening, Mr. Clampett.
Ed, now's your time to have that talk with Sonny.
What talk?
About Elly May.
I got nothing to talk to Sonny about, Ellie.
Oh, that's right. I'm the one that's going to talk to Sonny. You talk to Elly May.
Did you have something to tell me, Paul?
Well, I hadn't planned on it, but maybe now's a good time. Sit down. Ellie,
Yeah, Paul?
women folks like your granny, your Aunt Pearl, seem to set great store by matchmaking. It just can't rest easy till everybody's paired up, and the sooner the better. Now, your granny wants you to marry up with Sonny Drysdale.
Do you want me to marry up with him, Paul?
Elly May, there's only one thing in the world I want for you, and that's to be happy.
Well, do you reckon I'd be happy married up to Sonny?
Only if you love him.
Well, how do you know if you love somebody?
Well, I can't exactly explain how you know, but when it happens, you know. You don't need nobody to shove you. You just can't wait to get married. Now, do you feel that way about Sonny?
Well, I ain't sure. Do you reckon he feels that way about me?
Now tell me, how do you feel about getting married and settling down and raising a family?
I find the notion completely repugnant.
That's good. That's good.
One man who simply cannot be monogamous.
Fine and dandy. Tell me, how do you feel about Elly?
I find her beautiful, charming, refreshingly different, but somewhat lacking in the social graces.
What's that mean?
Well, for example, she can't dance.
Elly May Clampetts? Why, she's got dancing in her soul. I'm her grandma, and I want you to know I was the best doggone dancer that ever came out of the Tennessee hills. And her pa can outstomp a riled-up mule. Come on, city boy. Us Clampetts is gonna set your shoes to smoking.
By the way, you young people can dance if you like.
Not me. I'll go for some of that fudge. Come on, honey, let's dance.
I'll turn on the Victrola for you.
Come on, sweetie, let's dance.
Light on her feet, ain't she?
You'd never know she was moving. For?
We're celebrating your cousin Elly May getting married.
Is Elly getting married?
She sure is.
Really? Who is she marrying?
You.
Me?
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now hear that? Get out of here!
Here you are, Ma. Sign's all ready to put out front.
Doggies, that's nice.
Hey,
Hey, Pearl, you sure do look pretty.
Yeah, ain't nobody can sit at a piano with the style of your Aunt Pearl.
Aunt Pearl, where'd you get the cookies? Did Granny make them for you?
No, I stirred them up this morning before she got up.
Granny's gonna whomp you for getting into her kitchen.
I didn't bother her none. Gee, what do you think of my prices?
Yeah, is that what you've been charging at home?
No, but Beverly Hills is full of millionaires and movie stars, so I figured I could double them and get away with it.
I reckon you might can. I don't recollect seeing one sign in this whole town advertising yodeling lessons.
It does take a special knack, yodeling does. Oh, let it yodel.
I know it hurts your ears, Duke. Pretty soon me and you's gonna take a nice long walk outside.
These your cookies, Pearl, that I found in my kitchen?
Yeah, Granny, are you gonna whomp her?
Of course not. Pearl just made them to give to her music pupils.
I figured that. So I drawed some of my cider to go with them.
Well, now, ain't that nice?
Looks like you two ain't gonna fight no more.
Oh, shucks.
Now, you give a cup of this to every one of your pupils, Pearl.
Well, thank you, Granny.
Granny, this ain't none of your hard cider, is it?
Not especially. See? It ain't my hard stuff.
You'd have had every one of my pupils stoned.
Well, if they're going to sit here and listen to you, they ought to have something to numb them.
Now, you listen to me just a doggone minute.
Tickety dog days at it again.
Jethro, you and your ma take the sign and go on and take it out front. Elly May, you and me is going to pick the chairs and put them in the front hall there for Pearl's pupils. Granny, you pour that cider back in the barrel. Gentle. We don't want to blow up all of Beverly Hills.
How do you like it there, Ma?
Well, it's too far from the street.
How's that?
Take it out to the gate.
Okay, Ma.
Elly May, your Aunt Pearl like you put on that pretty new dress that she made for you, and when the folks comes in for the lessons, you give them their numbers.
What numbers?
Well, Pearl wants everybody to take a number when they come in. That way it's first come, first served, and won't be nobody trampled in a rush.
But, Paul, I was gonna take Duke for a nice long walk so his Aunt Pearl's yodeling wouldn't hurt his ears.
Yeah, I reckon it is a mite piercing for Duke.
Yeah, he can hear sounds that ain't meant for human ears.
Yeah, and Pearl can make them, too.
How about Cousin Jethrina handing out the numbers?
Well, Pearl wants Jethrina to be playing and singing as an example of what her teaching can do to a person.
Come and get it, boy.
Well, how about Granny?
I reckon things will go a lot smoother if we keep Granny away from Pearl.
Where's old Duke? I gotta use that soup bowl for him.
Well, I ain't seen him, Granny, but it ain't like Duke not to come when you call.
Give me the bone, Granny. I'll find him.
What about Pearl's numbers?
Well, you give them out till I get back. I gotta find Duke.
You got your speech memorized?
I think so.
Well, suppose I was to drive up in a car and stop. What would you say?
I'd say, hi, Ma. When did you learn how to drive a car?
I ain't your mom.
You ain't?
I'm pretending I ain't so you can practice your speech. Now, start again.
How do you do, sir? This young, beautiful widow woman
What
here...
do you mean, sir?
Well, that's what you wrote for me to learn.
I wrote you 2 speeches, one for man, one for woman. I'm a woman.
I'm a man, so I learned that one. How do you do, sir? This young, beautiful widow woman here...
Never mind me. Just point. Say, this way to the music lessons. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Well, do it.
This way to the music lessons. Excuse me, Ma. I'm sorry, Ma.
Honest to Pete, Jethro.
Duke? Duke?
Hey, here comes Elly May.
Have y'all seen Duke?
Well, I seen him run out the front door, but that was some time back.
Well, Aunt Pearl, would you do me a favor and cut loose with a short blast of yodeling?
Why, of course. Oh, lally, oh, lally, ooh. Oh, lally, oh, lally, ooh. Oh, lally, oh, lally.
Thank you, Aunt Pearl. Sounds like he's over at the Drysdale's place.
Hey, yonder comes Mrs. Drysdale driving a car. Reckon she'd want to take lessons?
Well, Mr. Drysdale's right fond of yodeling. Maybe she will. Oh, lally, oh, lally, ooh. Oh, lally, oh, lally, ooh. Tried to stop. Partner went off the road trying.
Well, that's what you get for trying to drive and close the windows at the same time.
Right in, Mrs. Drysdale.
Margaret, how nice to see you. I was hoping you'd...
I insist that those hillbillies next door to us be deported.
Deported?
At once.
Where to?
Oh, any place. Pasadena.
Oh, please, Margaret.
Milton, do you realize that Beverly Hills is preparing for its semi-centennial celebration?
Yes, but...
And do you realize that the eyes of the entire world will be on our famous city?
Yes.
And do you realize that I am the chairwoman of the celebration committee?
Yes, but...
And do you realize that famous personages will be coming to our home committee meetings? Well, answer me, Milburn. Speak up.
Oh, yes.
And do you realize that they will have to pass the Clampett home to get to ours?
What's bad about that?
They're out in front. That's what's bad. As I drove by just now, that Pearl woman screeched at me.
She's probably yodeling.
Well, it frightened me so I almost wrecked the car.
Yes. She was definitely yodeling.
And that brown mongrel dog of theirs came running through our flower beds, making the most mournful racket.
No, don't worry, dear. I'll take care of everything.
I've already taken care of that unearthly howling. I called the dog catcher.
But Margaret, they won't take Pearl.
I called the dog catcher to take their dog.
Mrs. Drysdale, the Clampetts prize that animal. Elly May will be heartbroken.
Then let them keep it in the house as I keep my French poodle.
Mrs. Drysdale, Duke is a hunting dog. He's used to the
Miss
outdoors.
Hathaway, I believe you have a telephone call to make.
Oh, yes. Right, Chief. Immediately.
I've also taken care of that so-called yodeling. I prefer charges against Pearl Bodine for disturbing the peace.
Come on.
Elly May, they're starting to come. Hurry down. Jethro, commence the playing and the singing.
Okay, Ma.
Jethro, you're supposed to be out front. And them cookies is for my students.
I got hungry.
Hey, Clint. I reckon Ellie's out looking for Duke. I'll hand out the numbers for you, Pearl.
Oh, Jed, start with the 20 or something so it'll look like we're doing a big business. Enjoy your free cookie, and you had a very good lesson.
Well, Ma!
Next.
Are you Mrs. Pearl Bodine?
Widow Bodine, they call me.
Are you the one who's been doing the yodeling?
That's right. Give him a number.
There you are.
This is my cousin Jed.
Ah, happy to meet you.
And that there's Granny. Here you are, mister. A little cup of cider. You're gonna need it. That's one of my best pupils. Come along. Come on. Come on in.
What is it? What's the matter?
Chief, I telephoned the animal shelter.
They get Duke?
Yes, and Elly saw them. She followed them all the way to the shelter and proceeded to, and I quote, beat the living daylights out of the entire staff.
Get over there right away.
Right, Chief.
Don't you worry, Duke. We'll get out of here. And when we do...
Elly May!
Over here, Miss Jane. Did you come to let Duke and me out?
Yes, but first you must give me your word that there will be no further violence. Those men out there were simply doing their duty.
Okay, I won't hurt him no more. I busted Duke's bone a whooping that big one. Well, open up the cages.
Oh, I can't do that.
Well, Duke and me ain't coming out neither.
Ellie, dear, the animals here receive the very finest care and the kindest of treatment. If they were allowed to run loose, they might go hungry or be run over and hurt.
Well, do they have to stay here all the time?
Oh, no, only until someone comes along who'll pay for their license and give them a good home. I had to open my big mouth.
Bye. Goodbye now. You come back, you hear?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Everything all right, Sarge? Just great. The nicest bunch of people I ever met. Sarge, you haven't had a nip, have you? Of course not. Just a friendly little sup of cider, a cup of cider. I'm taking you to the diner for a cup of black coffee. Don't be ridiculous. Maybe you'd better. I just saw a car and I can swear there's a dog driving it.
Miss Hathaway, is all them your dog?
No, Mr. Clampett. They're yours.
Howdy, Pa. This year's all friends of Duke and me.
Well, doggies.
Now, we ain't gonna have no more slapping, nor biting, nor scratching, nor spitting. You two's got to learn to get along together. Now, make up and be friends. Come on. Kiss and make up.
Elly May, I think I got a job I'm going to turn over to you.
What's that, Pa?
See if you can get Pearl and Granny to stop biting and scratching at each other.
Folks is a lot harder to handle than critters, Pa.
That's the truth. Now, you better get all your dogs and cats outside, because the house just ain't a place to keep...
Help! Help! Oh! Help! Help! There's a big rat after me! Oh! Help! Help! Help save me from the big rat!
This here's a dog, Jethro. Don't be scared. Shame on you, Samson. You're always bullying somebody.
Baby's screaming. What's wrong?
Nothing. She's all right.
One of them dogs scared me, Ma. Oh, well, there, baby. Don't you cry. Don't you cry. I tell you, Jeb, this house is full of cats and dogs. How am I going to give Ma music lessons?
Well, Elly May is just fixing to take them all down by the cement pond, ain't you, Elly?
Yeah, Pa. I'll just run upstairs and put on my bathing suit. We'll all go swimming together.
Yeah, but Elly May was supposed to help me handle my music pupils.
Well, it don't look like he's exactly swamped, Pearl.
No, and I can't understand it. I even cut my prices.
Oh, come on, Jethro. Just a short ride?
I don't think Ma'd like it. She said somebody's got to stay here with the sign.
Just a short ride. It's such a beautiful day.
Gee, I'd sure like to, but I dasn't. No,
I'll tell you what. I'll let you drive my car.
Hot diggity dog, that does it. I'm going. Don't leave the sign or Ma'll be mad.
Well, I suppose that's part of his charm.
Come on, fellas, let's go swimming. I would forgot.
you get them all now?
Yeah, Aunt Pearl.
Well, thank goodness. I'll be surprised if I got any voice left after all these carryings on.
Go see Elly. Rusty, now that you and Skippy's such good friends, I bet you'd like it fine if you could swim, too. There ain't no reason that cats can't swim just as good as dogs. It ain't nothing to it. All you gotta do is hold your head up out of the water and all your feet are kicking. Just like Skippy's doing, see? There's what you call the dog paddle. But for you, we'll call it the cat paddle. Water ain't nothing to be scared of if you know how to swim. Watch, and I'll show you how to do it. See? Just keep everything a-moving and hold your head up out of the water so you can see where you're going. And that's all there is to swimming. When you get good enough, one of these days I'll take you to the creek or the lake and you can catch your own fish. Oh, Aunt Pearl's gonna set them dogs to howling again.
No, Sarge. I'll handle this complaint. Now, the chief wants that howling and yodeling stopped. Mrs. Drysdale's putting on the pressure. I can handle it. Those hillbillies will just soft soap and hard cider you again. But they won't get through to me. I'm a big city boy. They don't speak my language.
I'm sorry Miss Drysdale got upset about the dogs, but Elly May can handle them.
Well, she better, or I may have to place her under arrest.
Elly May, young fella here wants to talk to you.
Howdy. What you want to say to me?
Young fella.
Huh?
What you want to say about the dog?
What dogs?
I reckon the ones that's jumping up on you.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Beautiful. I love them.
Do you like cats?
I love them.
I got a cat that swims.
Wonderful.
It'd rather swim than eat fish. Come on, I'll show you.
Young fella. Don't you want to see the cat swim?
Oh, you kidding. Cats can't swim.
Critters will do things for that girl he wouldn't do for nobody else.
Come on, Rusty. Jump in. Come on, Rusty. That's the way. Good girl. Good girl.
Ain't that something?
Sure is.
How you can tell your friends you've seen a swimming cat.
Who are you kidding? Cats can't swim. Well, how'd it go? Great. Take care of the dogs? What dogs? Don't they have a bunch of dogs? I didn't see any. But they got a cat that swims. Get in. I'm taking you to the diner for some black coffee.
You know, Pa, I never did figure out what that fella wanted.
Oh, he'll be back.
Elly, you gotta do something about that dog.
What's he doing?
Well, he's digging a hole, and it makes me powerful nervous.
Well, Granny, all dogs digs holes.
Yeah, but he's digging one just my size.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
You hear that? Get out of here!
Want to come for a swim in St. Ned Pond, Granny?
Not me, child. If the Lord had wanted me to swim around in water, he'd have given me fins.
Yeah, you sure are gossed up. Where you going?
I'm going shopping for our Thanksgiving victuals. I hear your beau's coming to eat with us.
I ain't got no beau.
Your pa says so. Mr. Drysdale's stepson. You know, the one they call Sonny.
Shucks, I never even seen him.
Well, your pa tells it. He's coming to court you and spark you.
What does that mean?
You don't know what courting and sparking is?
No.
No, I guess you wouldn't at that. Well, when I get back, you and me better have a little talk.
Have you ever been courted and sparked, Granny?
Honey? When I was a girl back in Tennessee, I set so many boys' hearts on fire that they took to calling that neck of the woods the Smoky Mountains.
Well, see you later.
Daisy, you old heartbreaker. You still got it.
That's the truth. Who you stepping out with?
Ain't stepping out with nobody. I'm going to the supermarket.
What's a supermarket?
I don't know. I reckon it's kind of like a general store. But that's where you have to go to buy your victuals out here. And there's some things I need for that Thanksgiving spread.
Oh, say, speaking of Thanksgiving, we can use the big fancy eating table. I just finished notching the last pot passer.
You think they'll reach?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's give them a try.
Jethro!
Yeah, Granny? You all set to get took to the supermarket?
No, not yet. Fetch me a pot to the fancy eating room.
Yes, sir.
That sure is a mighty fine eating table.
Jethro's fetching a pot.
Granny, you gotta admit, folks built this table sure knowed what they was doing. It is built solid.
It is that. You could set a half-dozen turkey gobblers on there and never sag it a bit.
This here is a dandy idea, especially if you got young ones at the table. The plates won't slip off on the floor.
Yeah, I've sure scrubbed up a mess of pone and sorghum.
Bet nobody ever scrubbed up none from this floor.
There's been plenty spilled on the table, though.
Sorghum?
Something sticky. I can't get that green tablecloth off there. Save me.
Stuck on it?
I can't imagine anybody to lay a clean tablecloth on a sticky table.
Yeah, Granny, I reckon all women ain't as spick and span as you are when it comes to keeping house.
Here you are, Granny.
Set it in the middle of the table so we'll see if these pot passers reach.
Yeah, I reckon that'll do the trick, all right.
Ted, maybe you better whittle some sharp points on a few of them, and we can spear the meat and pass it.
Good idea, Granny. I'll do that.
How do you reckon the folks that lived here before us passed things?
Well, they probably had a big family and passed from hand to hand. That reminds me, we're having 5 for our Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, you already told me.
Company coming?
Extra special company. Elly's beau.
Has Elly got a beau?
She sure has.
Mr. Drysdale's stepboy, Sonny.
Him and Elly ain't never seen each other yet. Sonny and his ma just come in from Boston. But Mr. Drysdale says his boy will be just happy to come a-courting Elly.
I won't. I have never submitted to a blind date before, and I refuse to do it now.
Sonny, dear, do it justice once for your daddy.
He's not my daddy. He's your husband.
All right, then. Do it for stepdaddy. It seems to mean a great deal to him.
Mother, I'm the most popular man on the campuses of 3 universities. Vassar, Wellesley, and Smith. To those girls, I'm an idol, to be worshipped. I can't just date anyone.
Sonny, dear, it might be fun to date someone new. Someone young, lovely, and charming.
For her, yes. How do I know what she'll look like? No, I can't. I can't. It might cause too much of a trauma, Mama.
But your stepdaddy says she's very attractive. And it seems that she's the daughter of his wealthiest depositor, whom he wishes very much to please.
Mother, what kind of a man have you married? He's selling me for a rich man's gold. It's sordid! Oh, it is sordid! It is sordid!
No, my precious baby. I know it was wrong of me to marry a common bank president, but I wanted you to have everything, and all I could give you was the heritage of a fine old family. But it takes money, too, darling.
Money, I hate that word. Makes the rich a social equal of us.
Oh, no, dear. It could never do that.
I wish you'd read the thesis I wrote on economics last week. Money and why it is not important.
You know, for a boy who's been going to college for 17 years, you haven't learned much.
Milburn, you must not throw it up to Sonny that he keeps going to college. He's trying to find himself.
Don't take my advice. Don't look. Come on, dear. Let Sonny get dressed for his date.
I'll draw him a nice hot bath.
Try not to drown.
Daddy?
Just a moment, Daddy.
You called me Daddy. You've never done that before. Well, don't ever do it again.
I refuse to date a strange girl just to benefit your economic situation.
Well, I've got news for you, Sonny. My economic situation and your economic situation have a very definite relationship.
Money doesn't interest me. Who steals my purse steals trash.
Well, you will have a date with Elly May Clampett, and you'll be nice to her, or I'll cut off every penny of your trash.
Milburn, did I hear you say that it's the Clampett girl you're asking Sonny to date?
That's right.
But, my dear, I haven't finished the genealogical check of their family tree. We don't know that Elly May is socially acceptable for Sonny.
Good heavens.
Now, you listen to me, Sonny. Jed Clampett is thrilled at the prospect of his daughter having a date with you. A city boy, educated, refined. To him, you're a knight in shining armor, a handsome Prince Charming. He thinks you're the greatest thing that could ever happen to his daughter.
Mr. Clampett sounds like a very intelligent man.
Oh, no, dear. I've heard the most disturbing reports about the Clampetts. I understand they're no better than peasants.
Good heavens, a date with a girl like that is unthinkable.
Now, Margaret, I hesitate to assert my authority. But unless I have assurance that my wishes will be carried out, I'm afraid I will have to...
Mother! Dad! Who is that?
Who is she?
Who is what, dear?
That divine creature by the pool next door.
That's the Clampett girl, Elly May.
Oh, Dad, you're sensational. Of course I'll date her.
Good boy.
But, Sonny, she's not a blue blood.
The color may not be right, Mother, but I sure dig that crazy container. Oh! Wow!
Howdy, Paul. What you doing?
Oh, I'm fixing some turkey stickers for a company meal. Oh, say, Elly,
Yeah, Paul?
is there anything you don't know about the birds and the bees?
No. How come you to ask?
Well, I reckon these are what Sonny Drysdale's been studying at school. Either that or he's partial to them.
How'd you know?
Well, when I mentioned to Miss Hathaway that you was going to be keeping company with Sonny Drysdale, she says, Mr. Clampett, she says, you better have a talk with your daughter about the birds and the bees.
Shucks, I know all about the little critter.
Well, that's what I figured, you being raised in the woods and all. But I didn't let on to Miss Hathaway. I know she's just trying to be helpful.
Granny says she's going to have a talk with me about courting and sparking.
She is. Well, I'm glad of that, Ellie. I was kind of wondering who was going to do that.
Paul, why don't you tell me about courting and sparking?
Well, Ellie, that's something that a girl's ma usually tells her about.
Well, I ain't got no ma, so why don't you tell me?
Well, Granny will do it when she comes back.
Well, what if she don't get back before Sonny Drysdale comes? Then I won't know how to court and spark him.
You ain't supposed to court and spark him. That's what a feller does to a girl.
How? What does he do?
Well, he gets himself all slicked up, shaves real close, shines his shoes, puts on a stiff collar and a clean shirt. And he goes to calling on the girl, toting a nice big store-bought box of candy.
Hot diggity dog, I'm gonna like courting and sparking.
It's only the courting part. I ain't got to the sparking yet.
What's that like, Paul?
Well, she invites him to come in the parlor and sit. And they usually sit on the sofa or something. Him on one end, her on the other. Yeah? Well, then he goes to carefully, little at a time, scooching down to where he's within reaching distance of the girl.
Sonny Drysdale gonna do that to me?
He might. And when he does, that's when a girl has got to be careful.
Don't you worry, Paul. If that rascal goes to reaching for my candy, I'll knock him clean off of that sofa. Sonny, are you decent?
Not me. The devil.
Come in. Sonny, you're beautiful.
Mother! Girls are beautiful. Boys are handsome. Dashing. Debonair. You're right. I'm beautiful. Well, I just spoke to Jed Clampett. He's expecting you to call this afternoon. Maybe take Elly May for a drive. And tomorrow, they're expecting you for Thanksgiving dinner.
2 days? Gee, stepdad, no girl has ever been exposed to me for 2 consecutive days. What? Well, it may be unleashing forces too powerful to control.
What if the Clampett girl gets serious about Sonny?
Well, we'll celebrate with the finest champagne money can buy.
Oh, no. My baby's not ready for marriage.
Margaret, he's 35 years old.
I am not. I was a leap year baby.
No, I don't know this nonsense. Now, you climb into that expensive sports car I bought you and go calling on that girl, or so help me out.
Milburn, please. Sonny has never been exposed to violence. Even when he was born, I gave the doctor strict orders that he was not to be spanked.
Well, it's not too late to start. Now, are you going or aren't you?
I'm going. I am going.
You want me to go along?
No, Mother, dear.
Yes, you. Does that weird-looking vehicle belong to you?
No, sir.
Can you move it?
I reckon so.
Please do. It completely spoils the effect of my imported 190.
What should I do with it?
Oh, I don't care. Just get it out of sight. Hide it somewhere.
Yes, sir. Sonny Drysdale to see Miss Clampett.
Oh, come in, come in.
What you doing, Jethro?
Trying to find out how to drive this thing.
What for? Whose is it?
Sonny Drysdale. He asked me to get it out of sight for him.
All right. Just trying to surprise Ellie. Where do you say put it?
Well, he just said hide it somewheres.
Yeah, let's accommodate him. You take the front end, I'll take the back. We'll put it back to them bushes yonder.
Okay.
Is he towing a box of candy, Granny? He sure is, honey. All tied up with ribbon. Oh, Ellie. Child, you are just beautiful. Shall I sprinkle some vanilla extract on you? Becca? No, I better not. Sometimes that drives them wild. I didn't get to talk to you about courting and sparking. Oh, that's all right, Granny. Pa told me. Oh, all right, now you follow me. Don't be nervous. Here she is, Mr. Drysdale.
Thank you. You're beautiful. Divine.
Never mind me. Say something nice to her.
Hold it just a moment. What a vision you are. What a picture you make. From your golden hair down to your...
Is that for me?
Yes, it is.
Bet y'all can guess what it is.
Try.
It's something sweet.
Exquisitely sweet.
Something yummy.
The yummiest.
Something all girls like.
You guessed it, it's me. You can sleep with it under your pillow.
You want to come into the parlor?
What are we going to do in there?
Talk about the birds and the bees.
Well, Scooby Doo. You peasant girls don't beat around the bush. Miss Clampett, my lips long to taste your lovely hand.
Hey, why did you throw him?
That rascal was fixing to bite me.
Who said to him?
My car, where is it? Oh, it did good, ain't it? Ain't nobody can find where we put it.
Big oaf, I'll destroy you.
Sonny Drysdale. Mother!
Mean critter, Jed.
Yeah, Pa, he bites.
I did him a favor, and he commenced to hitting me.
I claim us Clampetts have been insulted by the Drysdales. Let's go feud them.
Oh, now.
Why, we could whoop them with one hand tied behind us.
We ain't got no cause to whoop 'em, Granny.
No cause. Why, just yesterday I went over there to the Drysdales to borrow a cup of possum fat. And that butler fella that lives over there, he says to me, you wouldn't pull my leg, would you? And I said, well, one good turn deserves another. Stick it up here and I'll give it a yank. And do you know that he slammed the door right in my face? Let's go.
Now, hold on. Now, we're all going to calm down. Go next door, talk to Mr. Drysdale. We'll straighten this whole thing out. Come on.
There. Mother's baby is going to be all right. Was it just a dreadful experience, darling?
Dreadful.
Margaret, Sonny, Clampetts are here.
They followed me.
Come in.
Where's Sonny? Here I am. Well, we've straightened out the misunderstanding, and now these people have something they want to say.
Well, Sonny, I reckon this is all my fault. I'm sorry I wasn't to the door like a proper paw had ought to been.
I'm sorry I throwed you, Sonny. And I sure do thank you for that nice picture you give me.
And I'm sorry you hurt your hand hitting me, Sonny.
And me and Jethro was sorry that we hid the automobile. We towed it back over and set it down in front of your house.
Can't think of nothing I'm sorry for. But we sure would be proud to have you all come and take Thanksgiving victuals with us.
Sonny and I wouldn't think
of passing up an invitation like that. We'll be there, all of us.
Let us say grace. We sure have got a lot to be thankful for, Lord. We got good health, good neighbors, good food. Jethro's going to school. Elly's got a feller. I guess everything is just about fine, and we sure do thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Well, Jethro, hand out the pot passers and the meat stabbers. Let's get at it.
Hippie's on drumstick.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
You hear that? Get out of here!
Well, howdy. Well, now, ain't that handy?
That, Paul.
Way the road takes a bend in here, runs right by the front door.
No, Mr. Clampett, this is your driveway. It goes with the house.
Is this thing a high?
Oh, yes, indeed. It was built by John Barrymore, one of our finest actors.
Pretty fair stonemason, too.
Well, here we are. I hope you're going to like this place I picked out for you. It may be a trifle larger than what you're used to, but I feel a man with $25 million in my bank should live in a manner that... Come in, this is your home. As I say, it may be a bit more than you're used to, but I'm sure you'll be comfortable. Now, my secretary will be over right away to help you with the hiring of servants or whatever problems you may have. She's a very efficient girl, Miss Hathaway.
Jed? Jed? You and Jethro fetch in my stove so I can get some victuals to cooking?
Oh, you have a beautiful stove.
Thank you. Fetch it in, Jed. You scare up some wood, Elly.
No, I mean you have a stove already installed in the kitchen.
Where's that?
I'll show you. Excuse us.
Elly, you go with Granny. She'll still need you to fetch some wood.
Sure, Paul.
Uncle Jed, guess what? There's a whole nother house up here.
Jethro, come down from there. Like as not that belongs to somebody else.
This is your kitchen. Oh, and here's your stove. The last word in food preparation. And speaking of food, you'll find everything you could possibly want stored right in here. See? Well, I'll leave you ladies to your culinary delights. Au revoir, bon appetit.
Talks gibberish.
You set a great deal of store in this here stove, Granny.
Well, we'll see. Elly, you run out and fetch some wood. I'll get a fire to going in here and we'll see.
Can I be of any assistance?
No, thank you, Mr. Drysdale. We were just talking about Jethro here getting back to school.
Oh, well, we have some excellent educational facilities out here, Mr. Clampett. Where do you go to school, Jethro?
Oxford. Yeah, you see, Jethro's ma, that's my cousin Pearl. She married an Oxford man, so naturally Jethro, he goes to school there, too.
I'm the champion crawdad eater.
At Oxford?
Jethro put away 3 buckets of crawdads. 4. And he's learned to cipher and everything. Cipher some for Mr. Drysdale.
1 and 1's 2. 2 and 2's 4. 4 and 4 is 8. I have to take off my shoes to get any further than that.
Never mind. I'm sure we're thinking of two different Oxfords. You see, this one is very, very famous and very old.
That's where Jethro goes to school. Been there since pioneer days.
That's how come it got its name. It's where the oxen used to ford the river.
So folks took to calling it Oxenford, and later on it got shortened to Oxford.
Yes, I see. Well, I'll be running. Oh, by the way, here are your keys. My secretary should be over very soon.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drysdale, for everything you've been doing for us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Mr. Clampett. You see, I'm not only your banker, I'm your next-door neighbor.
Well, say, now ain't that nice? Well, now, why don't you bring your missus over tonight for supper, and I'll have Granny womp up a mess of grits and hog jowl.
Well, you see, right now my wife is in Boston.
Well, that's too bad. When'll she be back?
Not too soon, fortunately. I'll see you later.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drysdale. So long.
Paul, could I please have the axe? I gotta split some wood for Granny.
Pinch it, Jethro. Ain't this place got a wood pile?
Not that I could find. But I found a whole row of black old dead tree trunks, pretty near as high as this height.
Are they kind of big for you to tackle?
Well, shucks, no, Paul. They're only this big around, and all trimmed and topped and strung together with the black rope, so as no matter which one you cut, the others keep it from falling.
Somebody had a right smart idea there. Just the same, I think I'd rather have Jethro do the cutting.
Oh, Paul and me.
Ah, cutting trees and chopping logs ain't no work for a girl.
I'm just as strong as Jethro.
You ain't neither.
I am so.
You ain't neither.
I am so, too. You want to wrestle.
Darn too.
Now, here. That ain't no fair fight. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Now, yeah, you see, you're getting too rough. Jethro. Person can get crippled from a hold like that. Get up from there.
I can't, Uncle Jed.
You turn him loose and get up from there before I take a strap to the boot. Now, here, you get out there and chop down one of them tree trunks and saw Granny some nice logs.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Could have whooped you if you hadn't tripped me.
Abby, come back here and sit down. I want to talk to you.
Whooped him fair and square, and I'll do it again.
You won't. That's what I want to talk to you about. Elly May, you're getting too big to wrestle with boys.
I ain't as big as Jethro.
I don't mean big that way. I mean, growed up. You're a young lady now. You gotta start minding your manners and fixing yourself up real nice and wearing dresses.
Paul, folks would call me a sis.
It ain't sissy for girls to act like girls. You see, Elly, I raised you like a boy, and I was wrong to do it. I reckon every man liked to have a son, and you was my only young'un. And when your ma passed away, I just decided to turn you into a boy. By the time Granny come to help out, you was too wild to tame. By thunder, you could outrun, outclimb, outfight, and outshoot every boy in them hills.
Still can, Paul.
It ain't fitting. It ain't right for folks to go against nature. Now look at old Duke here. Reckon we could turn him into a cat?
Of course not.
That's right. Because nature made him into a dog. Just the same way nature made you into a girl. Here lately, she's getting more and more positive about it.
You mean my years is growing?
No, nothing like that. You're pretty.
Oh, Paul.
I know you don't like it when I say that, but you like it when the young fellas around here come in saying it, and they will. Only they'll probably be using words, fancy words I won't even understand. But Elly May, ain't nobody can ever tell you how pretty you really are, except me. You're the living picture of your mom. And he would, all right. Got a lot of pitch and tar in it. Ought to burn real good.
Yeah. That flimsy grate holds up.
Granny, this is the top of that tree trunk. You want I should split it up, too?
No, just leave it outside.
Yes, sir.
This place ain't even got a wood box.
Yeah, folks don't need much wood out here. Remember what Pearl says? It don't get cold.
Yeah, I remember. It might not get cold in the day, but it sure freezes solid at night.
How you know?
I'll show you how I know. Every bit of food in this here storage bin is froze harder than a rock. Yes.
Mighty thin-skinned hog. But I'll be doggone.
Take me 2 days to thaw out that ham before I can ever cook it.
People ought to know better than store food up against the north wall. Why, we'll dig us a root cellar and we put all this stuff in it. Jethro, go on out there and catch us a chicken.
Okay, Uncle Jed.
How you know we got chicken?
Place this size is bound to have chickens.
Ain't all froze today.
Chick, 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 chick.
Are you a chicken?
Here's that bucket. You want it?
You take it, Ellie. See if you can find a creek. I gotta have some water.
Pump on this place?
It ain't even got a well.
Uncle Jed.
Yeah, boy, did you find a chicken?
I found something. I ain't sure if it's a chicken, a goose, a duck, or what.
Where is it?
I couldn't catch it. That thing can outrun a jackrabbit.
There ain't no goose or duck.
Must be a chicken.
If it is, I was right about things growing bigger out here. That thing was this high.
Chicken?
Ah, Jethro.
Honest, it's got legs this long.
Gibby's on the drumstick.
Drumstick ain't much. Whoever gets that neck is eating from now on. Commences here and runs plumb up to here.
Jethro, you ain't forgot what I said about Granny's jug of liquor.
I ain't been at Granny's jug.
You have your in first.
Honest, cross my heart.
Where'd you see this chicken?
Down by the cement pond.
Cement pond?
Uncle Jed, that pond is the fanciest thing you ever did see. Why, they are steps, so's the cattle can walk right down into it and get a drink. And up at one end, there's a lady standing there made out of rock. And she's a-pouring water out of a jar right into that cement pond.
Oh.
Well, that's how come that big old pink chicken to get away from me. Flew right over the top of that there rock lady, landed in that pond, and swam like an otter. Just flapping them big old pink wings and hollering.
What color did you say that chicken was?
It's pink.
Ain't I told you that stuff would stunt your growth?
Miss Granny, I didn't touch a drop.
You and me is going to the woodshed.
Jethro, you swear to be telling the truth?
So help me, Jefferson Davis.
Your hat off when you speak of the president.
He ain't president no more.
I'll have no Yankee talk in my kitchen.
Jethro, you and me is going back out there and corner that chicken. Granny, you get your fire to going. Elly May, you sweep up out front and keep your eyes open for that Miss Hathaway. I'm counting on her to take you in hand and get you in the right kind of clothes. Come on.
You there, young man.
I ain't a young man, but I sure do thank you for thinking so.
Good heavens, you're a girl.
Yeah.
I'm Jane Hathaway, executive secretary to Mr. Drysdale. And you, I take it, are a domestic of some sort? Cleaning girl, housemaid? Just what are your duties with Mr. Clampett?
Well, he sent me out here to sweep up, but he said you'd take me in hand and get me in the right kind of clothes and everything.
Indeed, I shall. We have a complete servant's wardrobe from chef to chauffeur. Come with me. the name of Thomas Chippendale is this? Has Mr. Clampett seen this disgraceful and unsightly mound of debris?
Oh, yes, ma'am. This is all his.
Oh, what charming antiques.
Just like you said, Jethro. Rock lady pouring water into a cement pond.
Yes, sir. And over there's where I seen that great big pink chicken. Only thing is, it don't sound like a chicken. It makes a kind of hollering noise.
Reckon you'd make a hollering noise, too, if you was to lay an egg like that.
Man, oh, man. That's what I call an egg.
And you won't have to worry about food now. Wait till she cooks this. Granny, look at this egg. What's all the smoke?
Stove don't work.
Probably just a stuffed-up flue.
Ain't got a flue. Ain't even got a stovepipe.
Well, I'll get the shovel and a hoe and rake it out of there. You keep this egg.
Just like everything else out here. Froze solid.
Really, my dear, you look quite charming.
Well, I feel like a dead blind soul.
Just a moment.
Yes, sir. Now I'll be right back.
Oh, that was my Paul.
I take it he's a gardener.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Paul just can't wait to commence gardening.
Apparently. However, as though I admire his enthusiasm, I must forbid him access through the main entrance. Now, tell me about the rest of the staff. Is there a chauffeur?
A what?
Someone who does the driving.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's Jethro. Of course, I don't reckon he can stay around very long. He's got to get back to Oxford and go to school.
Oxford? He attends Oxford University?
Well, he just calls it school. Paul went to school there, too.
Oh, yes. Old school time. Great pride, those Oxford men.
Sorry I couldn't stop before. Granny was having trouble in the kitchen.
Paul, do I have to wear this here stuff that Miss Hathaway...
No, there can be no appeal from Mr. Clampett's orders.
Thank you, ma'am. Glad to see you taking a firm hand. Elly May, that's right pretty. Makes you look taller.
She's got me walking on pegs.
We'll run in and show Granny.
And get rid of those old clothes, dear. Granny, I presume, is the cook.
Yes, ma'am, but she ain't too happy about it right now.
I shall deal with her directly. Now, let's see. Maid, gardener, cook, chauffeur. Oh, I understand Jethro is an Oxford man.
You bet he is.
I'm quite anxious to meet him.
Don't blame you. Fine-looking young feller. Single, too. And he's on the lookout for a girl.
I'm only interested in the intellectual rapport which I would naturally have with an Oxford man. I presume he went to Eton as a boy.
If I know Jethro, he went to Eton the minute he was born.
Yes, of course. I suppose his father matriculated him.
I kind of think maybe it was his ma.
Oh, well, no matter. At any rate, he's an Eton man.
That he is. Matter of fact, Jethro won the Eton championship.
How marvelous. What was he champion of?
Eton.
Yes, I know. But what was it? Cricket?
Oh, no, it was crawdad. I don't think even Jethro would eat crickets.
I was referring to the game of cricket.
Kid, where's the axe?
I'll fetch you, Granny. You talk to Miss Hathaway.
And just why does Cook need an axe?
I've hit this with everything I could lay a hand to. I even whopped it with an iron skillet.
You are supposed to hit it with a croquet mallet.
All right, where is it?
I don't think I'll tell you. There is a time for work and a time for play. Now then, what are we cooking for Mr. Clampett?
Well, I don't know what you're cooking him, but if he wants any victuals for me, somebody better shoot a possum.
Possum?
You got a better idea?
But of course, a nice big fluffy souffle.
All right. You shoot it and you skin it.
I don't even know what a souffle is. What kind of a cook are you?
I'm a cook with a stove that don't draw, food that's froze solid, chickens that can't be caught, eggs that can't be broke, and a smart alecky city woman telling me my business. That's what kind of a cook I am.
Mind your tongue, little woman. I can have your job.
You sure can, and the sooner the better.
Jethro's coming, and just wait till you see what he's got.
Thank heaven. Now I can have an intelligent conversation. Look, Granny, I got that big chicken.
I hope it ain't as tough as its egg.
That is a flamingo.
Oh, no, ma'am. That's my nephew, Jethro. Jethro, say hello to Miss Hathaway.
I didn't mind him. That's the big dangerous chicken you ever did see.
You go to school at Oxford?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the 5th grade.
Stop dragging and wring that chicken's neck. Elly May!
No, stop, you barbarian. Don't harm one feather of that beautiful bird.
I've taken just about as much as I'm going to take from you.
Yeah, Granny.
Elly, you get the fire going under the big kettle outdoors.
Young lady, where is your maid's uniform?
I ain't going away.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, I ain't.
Oh, yes, you are, if I must subdue you forcefully.
I wouldn't try
Hey,
that.
No!
Trying to tell you.
I'll set on her, Elly. You get the fire to go.
Now, here, Granny. Come on, let her up. Get off of her.
You are discharged. All of you. That. Fired. You are the most incompetent, insubordinate, belligerent group of domestics it has ever been my misfortune.
Hathaway.
Ah, Chief. You're just in time to help me take disciplinary action.
You're fired.
I've already told them.
Not them, you. These people are the Clampetts.
Clampett?
Yes, that's right. Now go back to the office and pick up your severance pay. You're through.
Now, Mr. Drysdale, hold on a spell. I reckon there's been a kind of a misunderstanding. But this little lady's been a right big help to us. Why, she fit in just like one of the family. Matter of fact, her and me is going out hunting. Ain't that right, Miss Hathaway?
Yes, and... Yeah. Jethro, you can take that pink chicken back out to the cement pond. We're going out and shoot us a nice, big, fluffy souffle.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now hear that? Get out of here!
It's the first week of spring, and Granny's swamping up her tonic for to give to all the family and her kin. Though it tastes mighty bitter, it is good for man and critter, 'cause it gets your blood to running free again. Granny's brew, it's good for you. If you're off your feet, you ought to have some too. Even Pa leaves his victuals, he just sits out front and whittles. Cousin Jethro, he's a-sleeping in the shade. Instead of doing her spring cleaning, on her mop Aunt Pearl's a-leaning. Granny better get that batch of tonic made. There's the gong, won't be long till the family's back to feeling good and strong.
Line up, everybody. First come, first served. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, Pearl, go ahead.
By rights, you should go first, Jed. You're the head of the family.
Oh, no, Pearl, I ain't in no hurry. How about you, Elly May?
Oh, no, Pa, I was the last one in.
Do I take it this family don't want to take my tonic?
Oh, no, Granny, it's good.
Well, then step up. Somebody be first.
Yeah, Pearl, go on ahead. Women and children first. That's the rule.
That's the rule for fire, flood, and disaster.
Well, seems to me Granny's tonic ought to fit in there somewhere.
I heard what you said, Jed Clampett. And just for that, when it comes your turn, you're going to get a double dose. Now, step up, somebody, and get at it.
Hey, I got an idea. How about letting this little fella go first? He looks kind of puny.
Yeah, he's been acting kind of poorly lately, Granny. Tonic him first, Granny.
Sure seems to like it.
Yeah. You want some more? No, I reckon that's enough for a little critter like him. Yes, they're the best batch I ever made.
Miss Hathaway, these papers are ready for Jed Clampetts' signature. Oh, incidentally, he did a fine job bringing his file up to date.
Thank you, Chief. I'll be right in. Mr. Drysdale, I wish to give credit where credit is due. Most of the work on the Clampett file was done by Miss Buckles here.
Hmm? Buckles? Who's she?
A comparatively new girl, Chief. But already she has displayed those qualities so rare in the modern girl. Eagerness to learn, willingness to work, loyalty to the bank, devotion to duty.
All right, all right. How much of a raise does she want?
Oh, no, Mr. Drysdale. I didn't do it to get a raise. I did it because I'm sincerely interested in my work here. And I'm determined to become the best second best employee in your bank.
You hear that, Chief? Rare devotion to duty. And Miss Buckles worked on the Clampett file in her own time.
Very praiseworthy. All right, what's Mr. Clampett's present balance?
$34,783,127.34. That's not including the oil deposit due today.
Well, you are familiar with his file.
I feel that a job worth doing is worth doing right.
Unlike so many others, this girl is not here to find a husband. She is here to work, right, Gloria?
Right, Miss Hathaway.
You may call me Jane.
All right. Take these up to Mr. Clampett. Now make sure he signs in all places indicated.
Right, Chief.
Miss Hathaway, your time is so valuable, and I know that Mr. Drysdale needs you. I would never be missed from the secretarial pool.
Do you hear that, Chief? Is she a rare find?
I just try to be like you, Miss Hathaway.
Jane.
Jane.
Chief, if it's all right with you, she is familiar with the papers.
Huh? Oh, fine. Yeah, fine.
And Gloria.
Yes.
You must take my car.
Oh, no, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, tut. I insist.
$34,783,127.34. $34,783,127.34.
Howdy, ma'am.
Well, how do you do? I'm Gloria Buckles from the Commerce Bank.
Oh, it's mighty nice to meet you. I'm Jed Clampett.
You?
Yes, ma'am.
But I was looking for a much older man.
Ain't no older men around here. Might could scare you up one in the neighborhood. Seems to me I seen an elderly fella down the road a piece.
No, I simply meant I couldn't believe that you were so young.
Well, maybe it's because I ain't.
But you look so young. You do look young.
Is that a fact?
He's holding his tonic, but that ain't all.
Tell you, Granny, I've seen it with my own eyes. That girl is young enough to be his daughter.
And you say he gave her a hug?
Grabbed at her like a crawdad grabs bait.
That old mountain goat. I didn't figure on him running wild.
Your tonic. You shouldn't have double-dosed him and him being a widower so long.
Jed'll come to his senses.
I don't know. Ain't no fool like old fool.
Jed ain't old.
He's old enough, but he ain't too old, and that's where the danger is.
You're making a hill out of a haystack.
Granny, I got a good look at this girl, and I'm telling you right now, that ain't hay. A real big city article. Not the kind of girl that Jed's used to meeting back home.
Oh, girls is girls, city or country. They all come out of the same catalog.
Maybe so. But the city girls make it look like there's more in the package.
Granny, Pearl. Oh, there you are.
See what you mean, Pearl. She's wrapped tight and tied loose.
I want you all to meet Miss Gloria Buckles. This here is Granny and Cousin Pearl.
How do you do? I'm very pleased to meet you, ladies.
Howdy.
Hi.
Well, ain't she just about the prettiest thing you ever did see?
Yeah. Favors Elly a lot. Just about her age, too, wouldn't you say, Granny?
A mite younger.
Who's Elly?
His granddaughter. I mean, my granddaughter.
She's Jed's daughter.
Oh, are you married, Mr. Clampett?
I'm a widower, ma'am.
Yeah, poor old Jed. I reckon he's come for another dose of his lumbago medicine, Granny.
I reckon. The poor old feller was up all last night with the misery.
A moaning and a groaning and a walking the floor.
Yes, the poor old fella is past the point where liniment does him any good.
Slays his 4 feet all bone.
Now, girl, that's just about enough of that. You both know I never had a twinge of the miseries in all my life. Knock on wood.
Pearl, his mind is wandering again.
Baby called Granny. He missed his nap.
I want to apologize for them two, ma'am. They both just think they're being funny.
Well, I know what you mean. I have some elderly relatives like that myself. It's such a beautiful day. Why don't we go for a drive, Jed?
Thank you, ma'am. I'd like that, Gloria.
Did you hear what she called us? Elderly relatives.
Don't mind that. It's what he called her and she called him, and now she's going to get him out alone in her car.
Let's get in the truck and follow him.
We can't drive.
Jethro can.
Oh, I don't want Jethro getting no ideas from his uncle. Don't forget, he's been tonic, too.
Well, we has nothing to worry about. Jed's a man that can keep his feet on the ground.
Once he gets his arms around that girl, won't much matter where he keeps his feet.
By dingies, ma'am, if you hadn't brought her to a halt right when you did, we'd have gone right over that bluff. I'll get out and push her back on the road.
No, Mr. Clampett. I stopped here purposely.
Oh? How come?
Well, it's so beautiful and I'm so lonely.
Pretty woman like you. Why, I'd think these city boys would be standing in line for you.
Boys, yes. Men, no.
Well, I've seen them here all ages.
Well, I'm afraid that years alone do not turn a boy into a man.
I reckon I know what you mean.
I blame that city down there. Something about it seems to close in on a boy and keep him small and immature all his life. Show me a boy that's grown up in the country, in the mountains especially, and I'll show you a man, a real man.
You're gonna think I'm making this up on account of what you just said. But I grew up in the mountains.
No.
Yes, ma'am. Don't let that Beverly Hills mansion fool you. I'm a mountain boy, born and bred.
Of course. Of course, I see it now. I see it in those cool, clear eyes, unclouded by smog. Eyes that have looked beyond a city skyline and seen the truth and beauty of nature. I see it in this rugged, handsome face. I see it in these strong but gentle hands. Hands that have dug into the good earth, put life into it, and brought it forth. Hands roughened by honest toil.
Take another look at the face.
Oh, Jed. What have you done to me?
Nothing, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you have. You've sentenced me to a life of loneliness. A life without love. A life unfulfilled.
Well, I don't know what you mean, ma'am. Honest, I don't.
I'll tell you what I mean. You've set a standard no man could measure up to. A goal I could never achieve. Having met you, I could never care for a city man. Those weak and puny clothes dummies with their narrow suits and their narrow shoulders and their narrow minds.
Please, ma'am,
I have felt the muscles of a mountaineer ripple beneath my hands. Do you think I could ever be happy with anything less? No. I shall never marry. Better an old maid than a life with a man I could neither love nor respect.
Ma'am, don't feel that way. Pretty woman like you, smart and all. Why, it'd be a terrible shame if you was to never to get married and raise a flock of young'uns.
No.
Please, ma'am. I'd feel terrible if I thought you was wasting your life this way. Please change your mind. Well, Miss Gloria, if you're determined to marry a mountain man and none other, and unless you do it, your life will be ruined, maybe, and I get to know you better, I could find a way.
Oh, Jed.
Now, I ain't making no promises, but you set me to thinking. I reckon we'd best get back home and everybody get better acquainted. Forgot your pocketbook.
Oh, those are some papers Mr. Drysdale wants you to sign.
Well, come on, let's get in here and get busy. Got a lot to do with signing and dancing and getting better acquainted. Well, I reckon the first thing I better do is sign them papers you got for me.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Is she wearing a wedding ring? Wait till she gets her gloves on. Don't see one. Good. Then they ain't been to the preacher.
What is old Lamb, anyway?
Well, now this transfers your money from one account to the other. And this is your last will and testament.
They ain't been to the preacher, but they've been to the lawyer. And that's just as bad, or worse. We gotta stop him.
Oh, there you are, Jed. We've been looking all over for you. You give the doctor a terrible fright disappearing like that.
Yeah, he was afraid you might have fell in the cistern again.
What are you talking about?
Why, Jed Clampetts, shame on you. You know the doctor don't want you to have nothing sharp.
Girl, what in the blue...
No, don't get excited, Jed. Doctor says it ain't good for him to get excited.
What do you... Oh, I almost forgot. Come on into the parlor. Got a surprise for you.
A surprise?
Hey, come on.
All right, what's a surprise?
Well, the surprise is what Pearl and me found out about that woman while she was gone.
What'd you find out?
She's a spy. For one of them foreign nations.
Which one?
Minneapolis, Wisconsin.
That's right, Mr. Drysdale. We didn't know who else to call. But we think this here woman's trying to get Jed's money. Well, she says her name is Gloria Buckles, but I don't know the... What? Oh, well, yes, sir. Yes, sir, we will. Bye. Mr. Drysdale must know that woman. He's a-coming right over.
Paul gonna marry up with her?
Oh, child, we hope not. We pray not.
Why, Granny? Well, I gotta look at her, and boy, she's pretty.
Beauty is only skin deep, son.
Well, she must have awful deep skin, because every place I could see was...
Oh, now, Mr. Drysdale says we's to keep her here till he comes.
I'll watch her, Ma.
You watch your car.
What'd you say this one was called?
This is called the twist.
If a feller was to dance this in a fresh plowed field, he'd auger his way right into the ground, wouldn't he? Hey, Jethro, come on in. You want to dance?
I'd rather dance with her, Uncle Jed.
That's what I had in mind, boy. Miss Buckles, this here is my nephew, Jethro.
Hiya.
You teach him that there twist, and I'll teach it to Elly May. This is my daughter I've been telling you about.
Oh, what a beautiful child. You and I are going to be such good chums.
Ma'am, I think he meant for you to dance with me.
We're in time, Chief. There's my car.
Yes. Now, where's your protege? That loyal, devoted, hard-working gold digger.
I still can't believe it. So shy, so retiring.
She'll be retiring if she hooks Jed Clampett.
Jethro, I reckon you better answer that door.
Okay, Uncle Jed. Howdy.
Oh, how do you do, ma'am? I'm sorry to intrude.
Howdy, folks. Come on in. Dig yourselves a hole.
Gloria Buckles.
Huh? Where?
There.
Oh, my thunder, it is. You imposter.
Jezebel!
You gold digger.
I have a bulletin for you two. You better be nice to me, or else after my wedding, you may lose your largest depositor.
Wedding?
Mr. Clampett. Have things gotten as far as actually discussing marriage with this woman?
Well, yes, Mr. Drysdale, they have. Her and me had a nice long talk about it, and that's the reason I brought her home, so she could meet the family, kind of get acquainted. But this pretty young city woman says that unless she can marry a mountain man, she just ain't gonna get married at all. I think we all agree that'd be a terrible waste.
Should we set the date now, Jed?
Well, yeah, near as we can. I'd say everybody willing that it'd be in about 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years?
Yeah, be that long before Jethro's 21.
Jethro! Hot diggity dog, I got me a wife!
Paul, ain't you gonna marry up with that city woman?
Oh, Elly, us old foxes is trap shy, especially when the bait goes to chasing us.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now hear that? Get out of here!
How long do you reckon it'll take us to get home, Paul?
Jethro figures about 6 days, hard driving. Where are you going with that wood?
Oh, Granny wants it on the truck.
Put it down. With all the wood we got back at the cabin, we sure ain't gonna haul none from Beverly Hills.
Oh, she says it's for on the way.
On the way? Granny, what in the world do you do?
I'm making sure we don't freeze to death.
It's warm here.
Won't be when we get in the mountains.
You figure to keep that thing burning for 6 days?
And 6 nights. Don't forget, it's December every other place but here. Damn blame California. The weather's as mixed up as the people. I'll be glad when I get back where there's some snow and ice.
I can't wait to see Ma and Jethro.
Yeah, it'd be a mighty fine Christmas present for your ma and your sister, or us dropping in on them like this.
Now tell me again, exactly what did Marie say?
Sister said the Clampetts were loading their truck and appeared to be moving out.
Why? What could have happened? Who offended them? Whoever it was, I'll have them driven out of Beverly Hills.
Chief, don't get so upset. I know a man with $25 million in your bank is...
Is that why you think I'm upset? Because Jed Clampett has $25 million in my bank?
Isn't it?
Of course not. The thing that upsets me is the fact he might take it out.
I don't know whatever happened to the key to that door, but I reckon with our stuff out of there, ain't nothing left anybody want to take, except them old pictures.
Oh, Miss Hathaway says a couple of them pictures is Rembrandt.
All right, after Christmas, we'll see he gets them back.
Where are you going?
Going home.
What? Oh, please, you can't go away and leave me like this.
All right, climb on. I reckon we got room for you.
Oh, my heavens, we caught you before you left.
Granny, is there room for two back there?
Yeah, if they want to squat next to the stove.
No, we don't want to go with you. We want you to stay here.
We'll be back after Christmas.
Well, Mr. Clampett, if you want to go home for Christmas, let me make the arrangements. I'll have you there tonight.
Tonight?
Clean back home?
Yes, and you'll arrive in style, too. Well, Miss Hathaway, I think Granny and Elly May should have mink coats for the trip, don't you?
Of course.
Well, let's go take care of it, and the reservations, too. Mr. Clampett, you start unloading the truck and leave everything to us. You'll be home in 5 or 6 hours on the jet. Fellas,
What's a jet, Pa?
I don't know, bus or jitney, I reckon.
Get us here tonight?
You heard what he said. Well, that will be a surprise to Pearl.
Uncle Jed, it took us 6 days to get out of here. How are we going to get back home in 5 or 6 hours?
That bus driver must know a doozy of a shortcut.
Pat, have we got plenty of champagne and caviar?
I guess so. Why?
The entire first-class section has been reserved for a family of VIPs, the Clampetts.
Wow.
Young ladies, I presume you've been advised of special arrangements for the Clampett family?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Certainly have. Here they come now. Oh, get a load of those minks. Granny, Elly May, right this way. I'm sure you'll be quite comfortable in the lounge. Wait.
Uh-oh. How did they get past the gate?
Let's get them out of here before the Clampetts see them. I'm afraid you're in the wrong section. May I see your tickets, please?
Well, I don't think we got any. See, this bus sure is fancy.
Bus? You've come to the wrong place. You want the bus station. Now, just go back the way you came and ask for the Traveler's Aid. Now, they'll help you.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, ma'am. Granny, Elly May, come on. We're on the wrong bus.
Mr. Clampett, what's the trouble? This is Mr. Clampett? Of course. Right this way. Jethro? Here, Jethro. Keep the tickets. Now, Mr. Clampett, you have the money Mr. Drysdale gave you.
Yes, ma'am. Right here.
A limousine will meet you and take you to Pearl's house. And Mr. Drysdale is phoning ahead to Mr. Brewster to be sure your cabin is in order.
Well, don't let him give away a surprise to Pearl.
Oh, he won't. Well, happy landing, Merry Christmas, and au revoir.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
And Jethro, here's something for you if you promise to bring it back to me. Take good care of them, and remember, the tall, young, good-looking one is mine. Now fasten your belt.
Well, I ain't wearing one, ma'am. Just McGillison's.
I meant your seat belts.
Doggies. This is a fancy bus. Looks like the bus is commencing to pull out.
Now we'll see if this bus driver knows an all-fired fancy shortcut.
That's you and me watch the road so we can remember it.
Okay, Jethro.
If you ask me, this bus driver of ours is lost. Just keeps us circling and turning.
You know there's no shortcut yet.
Ring, ring.
Listen to him a-racing that engine.
Yeah, but the wheels must be spinning in the mud. We ain't moving.
He got her out of the mud.
Yeah, we're moving now. Lickety split, too.
My doggies, if he gets to going much faster, this thing's gonna leave the ground.
Don't look now, but it is leaving the ground.
Jethro, you better get up there and tell that bus driver to slow down.
Ain't got time for that. Let's get off of this thing before it gets any higher.
Now, wasn't that a smooth takeoff?
You may unfasten your seatbelts anytime you like. Would you folks like some champagne caviar? Or would you prefer a nice hot meal?
We have steak, chicken, fish, anything you like.
Oh, no thanks. We had a mess of grits and jowls before we left home.
Perhaps you'd like to relax then. Take a little nap.
There.
Whoop. Doggies, Granny, ain't that something?
It's good for my rheumatiz.
Now, if there's anything else that we can do to make your trip more comfortable, just press the little button.
And we'll be right here.
And girls ain't a bit scared.
Sure is friendly, too. Offering to share their food with us.
Still want me to go up and talk to the bus driver, Uncle Jed?
I reckon not, Jethro. Don't nobody else seem skittish, and we don't want folks to think this is our first bus ride.
Howdy, Pearl.
Homer Winch, when are you gonna learn not to walk into a body's house without a body inviting you?
Well, I rang and you didn't come.
You didn't give me time, you old coot. Now, don't you never do that again. Get out of my parlor.
I like you when you're mad, Pearl. You're an exciting woman.
Homer, you get out of here. I don't have time for your foolishness. Jethrine and me's going to California to spend Christmas with Cousin Jed.
Well, and I reckon you don't care to hear what I got to say.
That's right.
About Mr. Brewster.
Mr. Brewster?
Yeah, that tall, good-looking city fella who works for the oil company. Drives that big car.
What about him? Is he in town?
I've been ordered from your parlor, Pearl. I think I'd best be going.
Homer, I didn't mean it. Please, Homer, you tell me about Mr. Brewster, and I'll bake you a sweet potato pie.
Well...
And for dessert, red horse swimming in elderberry wine.
You're an exciting woman, Pearl.
Tell me.
Well, you see, he stopped over at the Emporium to get some cheese and crackers. Said he was going to be over at Jed's cabin alone all day, and he didn't have no food.
Thank you, Homer. Merry Christmas.
Now, wait a minute, Pearl. You ain't going to do me out of my tater pie, are you?
Well, of course not. You get it.
Well, when?
Well, I'll let you know. I'm busy right now. Bye, Homer.
Ding, dang, darn it, I done it again. Let some pretty woman twist me around her finger. I hate to go home. Mama's going to give me the dickens.
Jed.
Hey, Granny.
I just had a terrible thought.
What's that?
Suppose we get to Pearl's house and she ain't there.
Where would she be?
Out chasing that Brewster fella, that's where.
Ah, she ain't likely to catch him in her horse and buggy.
Whoa, Bessie.
Now, Bessie, I play my cards right. You get to keep that there blanket permanent, because I'm going to have something else to keep me warm. A husband. Ain't that a beautiful word, husband? Husband. And what's more, I'll be riding in that big, fancy automobile. So you can retire to pasture with that good-looking racehorse from Hot Springs.
Well, I thought I heard a horse. Mrs. Modine. Won't you come in?
Well, thank you. It's mighty cool today, ain't
Yes, it is. Well, it's nice to see you again. I'm sorry it's so cold in here. Didn't bother to build a fire in the fireplace, and I'm afraid that kerosene stove doesn't put out much heat.
Well, I can't stay but a minute. I just came by to give you this and say Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Oh, you shouldn't have.
Oh, it's just something that I made myself.
Oh, that's nice.
Land to mercy. Look at this place. Why, you men just can't manage alone, can you? It takes a woman.
Oh, please don't bother. I won't be here. You see, I'm going home to Tulsa for the holidays.
I won't go to no trouble. I'll just throw together a little snack, and while you're eating, I'll tidy up a bit.
This is the most fantastic miracle I've ever seen. The way you produced this banquet right out of thin air. Ham, fried chicken, roast pork, and this delicious sweet potato pie.
That's my own special recipe. Here, wash it down with some red horse and elderberry juice.
Oh, that is sensational juice. But, Mrs. Bodine, I just can't eat another bite. What, Mrs. Bodine, what have you done to this cabin?
Oh, do you see a difference?
And where did you get those curtains?
I just run them up while you was eating.
Really, you are a remarkable woman. You cook, sew, you're a wonderful housekeeper.
And I love it. It ain't work to me at all. It's pure enjoyment.
Mrs. Bodine, I know that this must seem awfully sudden to you, and I know you have lots of ties, lots of activities here in the hills, but I was wondering, do you think you could possibly be happy living in a city like Tulsa?
Tulsa? That's where you live, ain't it?
Yes, I have a very nice home there, but frankly, it needs you, and I think Mother will agree.
You want me to meet your mother?
Well, actually, it isn't necessary, and I know Mother will approve my choice. You don't have to give me your answer immediately. You just think it over.
Yes, that's my answer. Yes.
But we haven't even discussed money.
I'll give you every cent I make.
Mrs. Bodine, as my housekeeper, I will be paying you.
Housekeeper.
That would carry for Mother. Oh, incidentally, Mother's just going to love this elderberry juice. What's the matter? Do something?
You shorted. You let me cook for you. You let me sew for you. Hand me the ham. You let me house clean for you. Now then, I don't know what it takes to get engaged in Tulsa, but in these here hills, you've done enough to get yourself promised, hitched, and honeymooned.
Really, Mrs. Bodine, I didn't mean to.
I'm going to Beverly Hills to spend Christmas with my cousin Jed. And when I tell him what you done, he ain't gonna take kindly to it.
What, Mrs. Bodine? I give you my word that
You give me my hand-knit socks. Your feet can't get no colder than they are right now.
Drysdale. Pearl is on her way to California to see them.
Well, can you catch her in time?
Oh, I think so. She's driving a horse and buggy. I'll tell her family's on the way.
No, this is a surprise.
Well, then what'll I say?
But say anything to keep her there until the Clampetts arrive. Now get over to Pearl's.
Oh, Oh, she might misconstrue. You see, I have a very delicate situation here.
Yes, you certainly have. And if you spoil Jed Clampett's Christmas surprise, he'll cut off your oil.
But Pearl might think I want to marry.
Merry Christmas to you, too. Bye.
Hello? Oh, boy.
Here's the sweet potato pie and red horse, I promise.
Hey, there's a piece of this pie missing. And a gulp or two of these red haws. Who got it, Pearl?
None of your business. Now get along. Jethrine and me is leaving for California.
Yeah, I want a whole pie just like I was promised.
Now you get out of here before I throw you out of here. Men is all alike. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
You're an exciting woman, Pearl.
Don't you even speak to me. There ain't a man alive worth the powder it'd take to blow him to you nowhere. There's just a bunch of low-down, no-good Mr. Brewster!
Miss Bodine, I hope you're not angry at me any longer.
Angry at you? Why, don't be ridiculous. Oh, here, have some more sweet potato pie and some red horse.
Oh, this is a rascal been trying to steal my woman and my pie. I'm going to give you such a... Oh, I think I throwed my dang knee out.
And I'm going to throw out the rest of you.
You see, in my business, what I mean to say is that I'm away from home a lot. And, well, I think that a husband should, that is, what I mean to say is that, in my opinion, could I have another slug of that elderberry juice?
No, you cannot. Now then, I've been sitting here for 3 solid hours listening to you, and you have yet to say one word that a widow woman could get her teeth into. Jethrine, bring the suitcases.
Oh, please don't go.
I ain't listening to one more word you got to say lest you say it on your knees. Don't come in yet, Jethrine. Say it.
Please don't go.
You are the slipperiest man that ever lived. Come on, Jethrine. You get out of my parlor and you stay out.
You want me to throw him out, Ma?
He can walk. Homer Winch, is that you again?
No, Pearl, it's us.
Merry Christmas, Jethrine.
Uncle Jed.
Why, you have grown... Mr. Brewster, what are you doing?
Mr. Clampett, if you'd been just 1 second later, I'd have been engaged to your cousin Pearl.
Go back out, everybody!
Please, Mr.
Clampett! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to
You're nothing but a two-timer, Homer Winch. Pearl told me about you sparking her, you old rascal, you.
You're exciting when you're mad, Granny. Hey, how about going for a little sleigh ride with me?
You promise to behave?
Sure I do.
Well, we might as well stay here and sing.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.